Well, Mike, the Giants come back home after a successful 4-2 road trip, and it led off on opening day with Jeff Kent, who went wild.
Well, great offensive production from Jeff Kent in the open day, but also 9 1/3 innings of one-hit relief for the Giants bullpen. Steve Reed, John Johnstone, Rob Nin was just absolutely awesome in his debut with the Giants. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings for Rob Nin. Giants win it in the 13th inning.
And then in the 3rd game, again, Kent went wild. Instead, Javier knocked in all kinds of runs, and the Giants ended up taking 2 out of 3 in a place where they're always happy to win 1 game.
If he would have left spring training and asked Dusty Baker, what would you have liked to be coming into the Giants home opener? He said he would definitely say win both series and go 4-2.
And then the opener, well, not the opener, but the first time the Giants saw the new ballpark in Arizona, and Mark Gardner pitched well. He struck out 8.
Bullpen came on to relieve and preserve the win for Gardner. And the Giants kept rolling.
And then Brian Johnson on Saturday hit a 2-run home run in the 7th inning to tie. And then eventually went on to beat the Arizona Diamondbacks on Saturday and ended up taking 2 out of 3. So it's a good road trip, and I think you're right, Mike. If you can take 2 out of 3 wherever you go on the road, you got to be happy with it, especially after a 9-21 spring training.
I've always felt that the first 10 games of a season, every team is vulnerable unless you have the type of an offense the Yankees or the Cleveland Indians have, where you can dig out of a large hole. You want to get your club off to a good start, and there's that vulnerability. I feel that you really have a lot of question mark surrounding your club, and you hope that the chemistry finds itself early. And for the Giants, it did that very thing in Houston and in Arizona.
Well, the Giants take the field, led by Hamilton and Bonds, and number 53, Orel Hershiser, walking from a different dugout for him. And the fans and the bleacher fans, of course, leading the charge as they bow to Barry Bonds as he heads out to his position.
I know Bonds could not wait to get back to San Francisco to get a new bat order. For one, he didn't like the wood that he had on the road. He had problems with it. In fact, one instance, he had one ball he hit on the right side of the bat, and the left side of the bat broke. I've never seen that before.
Well, let's take a look at the Houston Astros starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Craig Biggio will lead it off, followed by Derek Bell. Hitting 3rd is Jeff Bagwell. Sean Berry, the cleanup hitter. Moises Alou hit a 3-run home run off of Hershiser in Houston. He'll bat 5th. Hitting 6th is Richard Hidalgo. Ricky Gutierrez in the 7th slot. Then it's Brad Osmus hitting 8th. And pitching and batting 9th is the young left-hander John Halama.
And towing it up for the first time here in San Francisco, making his Giants debut, is Orel Hershiser, his 2nd start of the year. Against Houston, career 15-13. Overall, he's 179 wins against just 123 losses, a lifetime ERA of 3.26. Those are fabulous numbers. And behind Orel Hershiser today, defensively, the Giants will have Bonds, 7-time Gold Glove winner in left field, Hamilton in center, Javier in right, Miller, Aurelia, Kent, and Snow across the infield. Snow, a 3-time Gold Glove winner in 2 leagues. Brian Johnson behind the plate, and on the mound, Orel Hershiser.
Well, Hershiser takes a little walk off the back of the mound, kicks the rosin bag, and now crawls back up the hill. About a million things going on in his mind, but probably the most important one is, how am I going to get Biggio out?
Ask him how he warms up. He says, I just try and get the sore spots loose, and I don't really know how I'm going to try and go after guys till I get on the mound in the diamond to see what's working.
First pitch of the ball game is a call strike, and we are underway at 1:11 on a beautiful afternoon. Some clouds above, a little chilly, but the sun is out. 0-1 to Biggio, coming in at 379, and he hits one into the gap into left center field. Hamilton on his horse, still racing over, and he makes the catch on the track. And that's how this game gets started. That had double gap written all over it.
Well, Biggio's had 56 lifetime at bats against Hershiser. They knew where he hits the ball against him. They had Hamilton shaded well over to right center, and he had to go a long way in the left center field gap to haul it down. And only the great speed of Hamilton enabled him to do so. Wow.
Here's Derek Bell hitting .444 with a home run and 9 RBIs, and he pops it up. Lots of foul territory here. A long run for Miller, and he dives and can't get it. And it's a nightmare for infielders and a catcher, even pitchers, as Hershiser was within the area.
Ball just kept working its way back away from Bill Miller as he comes in. Last minute dive just about 4 inches short. This would have been a spectacular play as well as the Hamilton catch that started the inning off.
So everybody kind of sit back and relax as Hershiser works his way back to the pitcher's mound. Derek Bell, big, strong, tall, right-handed hitter, swings and fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
And Derek Bell is off to a tremendous start. .444 early on this season, 1 homer, 9 RBIs. But it seemed like everything he hit in Houston against the Giants was loud. A lot of good, solid contact. He says he's seen the ball extremely well right now.
He had 3 doubles on opening day against the Giants. 3 of 4 hits were extra bases. However, Hershiser ahead 0-2, and that just missed.
Backdoor sinker attempt. It's long been one of the Dodger philosophies, of which Hershiser, of course, was raised in the Dodger chain. You get to a 2-strike count, you try and backdoor that outside pitch with a fastball, you get a lot of strikeouts that way.
Got him. 2 down here in the top of the first inning.
Comes right back into it in a lower position. Derek Bell has to protect. You can see Brian Johnson sitting up off the plate about 6 inches. The back door, excellent. That's good movement on that sinker for Hershiser.
That location is a good sign.
Now, he's always had great location, and what made him especially tough in his heyday was he had world-class stuff, a power sinker, good hard slider, great changeup, and he had command on both sides of the plate with everything.
Well, Brian Johnson just went home. He said, "I've had enough. It's too exciting for me." See, in the day, I'm sure it's an equipment problem. And Hershiser likes to play catch with somebody, so he picks Bill Miller. Here comes Brian Johnson.
Well, with a more conventional mask. Brian Johnson used to the helmet-like hockey-type mask. So apparently there's something wrong with that. He went back to Old Faithful.
Looks weird on him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Here's Bagwell, who is really starting to tune it up. Hitting .259, and he takes the pitch inside. Bagwell knocked his 3rd homer of the year, a 2-run shot against the Colorado Rockies 2 games ago. And he looper down the right field line. That'll be out of play.
Well, the Giants really did a great job of pitching to him, Kipe, in Houston. He was only 1 for 10. That 1 hit being a single that knocked in a run. But when the Rockies checked into Houston, he started putting up his serious Bagwell type numbers. 6 hits, 3 of which were homers.
And against the Giants, he's eating them alive. A shot to left field. Bonds will come in, and did he catch it? No, he trapped it. And Bagwell's going to have a base hit. Bonds is going to argue with Dana DeMuth. But from up here, it looked like he trapped it.
Pretty good acting job. Barry Bonds, a member of the Screen Actors Guild, and you can see why. Goes down. Hey, I got it. Style points. Good effort.
Here's Sean Barry. .429 average, a home run, 3 RBIs.
Another guy's been red hot. .429 early on.
Well, the Rockies came into town, and the Astros started to swing the bat. .5 for 23 against Hershiser is Sean Barry. Moises Alou is on deck with 2 outs and Bagwell aboard, and the first pitch is a strike. Now you cannot forget about Bagwell at first. He stole over 30 bases last year. Matter of fact, he was a member of the 30-30 club.
I think he has a goal this year to be another 40-40 guy. There's been 2, Canseco and Bonds. Bagwell wants in that club.
Roller foul. Now there has never been a player that has exclusively played first base that has ever been in the 30-30 club.
I think a lot of his stolen bases are sneak attacks. And guys just forget about him over there, as you mentioned earlier. He can't do it. He likes to walk into his lead. He likes to move into a rolling lead as he gets going.
Now he's forced to stop there because Hershiser made him stop.
That's what you have to do. You got to make sure that he's planted, stopped before you go home.
Here's the pitch to Barry, and he runs it inside, and it's 1-2.
Good pitch. Sean Barry didn't have long arms. Very quick inside part of the plate. Generally speaking, most of the hitters on this Astros team are difficult to jam. The 2 guys who can be jammed.
There goes Bagwell. The pitch is strike 3 called, and the inning is over. So Hershiser gets a nice play from Hamilton, a strikeout. A couple of them, and he strands Bagwell. Giants coming up. Here's the San Francisco Giants starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Darryl Hamilton in the leadoff spot. Then it's Bill Miller, followed by Barry Bonds, who will hit 3rd. Jeff Kent, 7 RBIs against the Astros in the series before this. Javier will hit 5th, and then it's Brian Johnson. JT Snow will follow Johnson. Rich Aurelia will hit 8th, and Orel Hershiser will pitch and bat 9th.
Left-hander John Halama making his 2nd major league start, and the Giants were hard on him in his debut in Houston. He went 4 innings, gave up 9 hits and 6 earned runs. But the one guy that he had some severe ownage on is in the batter's box right now. 3 strikeouts on the day, and they were all to Darryl Hamilton.
And a swing and a miss by Hamilton. And Hamilton has been thinking about this for quite a while. You know he has.
Well, his teammates were ragging him pretty good about it. So you know there's something a little personal in that batter's box right now.
That curveball is low.
But Halama did not overpower the Giants. Had a fastball in the mid-80s. Big curveball, a little bit of a cutter and a changeup. But he had to be very fine. Doesn't have hitters with you. Got to nibble.
Hamilton to left field, where Moises Alou will stroll in and make the one-handed catch.
Defensively behind Halama today will be Alou, Hidalgo, and Bell. In the outfield, Barry, Gutierrez on the left side of the infield, and Gold Glovers, Biggio, and Bagwell on the right side. Brad Osmus will do the catching for the Astros for rookie left-hander John Halama. Teammates call him the Dalai Lama.
Miller. Miller off to a fabulous start. 10 for 22. A couple of home runs the other night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Matter of fact, the only 2 runs the Giants scored in that game. Giants really felt that the only way they were going to get a hit in that game was hit it over the fence. Well, at least that's what Bill Miller ended up doing. Miller with 9 career home runs. 7 have come in Sean Estes starts. And there's a swing and a miss. On deck, Barry Bonds, just underway here at 3-count Park. It's low. Lots of day game activity around the major leagues.
There's some concern about the weather coming into today's ball game, but boy, what a great day the Giants got for this opener. Bill Miller pulling off that outside part of the plate a little bit, Kite.
Yeah, that looked like a long ball swing.
Well, you hit 2 home runs in a game, you start thinking dinger.
Here comes the payoff pitch, and he walked him. Here's Barry Bonds, and he'll receive a fabulous ovation. Bonds against Halama had a couple of doubles in Houston. Pitches away, 1 ball and no strike.
I think one of the things that the Giants lineup presents to the opposing pitcher is that the 2 guys on top of the Giants lineup take a lot of pitches, and that's significant.
And Bagwell got more picked off than Miller did.
Yeah, Bagwell's coming off to get into his defensive position. But how often do you see Hamilton work a count deep and Miller work a count deep? And it's not unusual for the pitcher to throw 12 or 15 pitches before he gets to Bonds.
Bonds hits it sharply past Carlos. First play by one of our ball dudes is smothered but not fielded cleanly.
Oh, all season long, trained, worked hard. First play, 0 for 1.
Clank.
Could have been somebody.
To Barry Bonds. Now timeout is called. The slightly to pull on the left side of the diamond. And fouled it back. Barry is off the line at third. We've seen more and more teams really put a shift on for Bonds. Larry Dierker, the fine skipper of the Houston Astros. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hole between first and second with Bagwell holding on Miller. It's low and away.
That last breaking ball that Bonds fouled back, he just missed it. So I have to believe that Bonds is picking him up pretty well.
Here's the pitch to Bonds, and it's low and away, and Miller thought about it but goes back. It's a full count.
Running situation for Dusty Baker. He might send Miller here in the 3-2-1 out count.
Jeff Kent waits on deck. 3-2. Let's see if Miller goes. It's Halama.
The one thing about this 3-2 situation, if you're the runner and you do get the go sign, you have to make sure he throws home. Cannot get picked off.
Miller goes. Bonds takes high, ball 4. Halama is doing what Hershiser did in his start against the Astros in Houston. Hershiser had some control problems in that first inning, but not today. Back to had a couple of doubles. Double and a triple against Halama. That game back in Houston, it was the final game of that series. Outside corner for a strike.
Kent will do that. He'll go in there and start digging a hole. The whole time he's doing it, he's talking to the umpire. Especially when he doesn't like a first pitch strike called, which he thought, I'm sure, was outside. Charlie Relaford behind the plate today.
Kent goes the other way. He's got a base hit. Let's see what Wotus is going to do. They're going to send Miller, and the throw is going to be to the cutoff man. And Kent has an RBI single, and it's 1-0 Giants.
But what a solid approach from Jeff Kent. Picks up the breaking ball well. Halama tried the back door, made a good pitch, but the only way you beat that pitch is if you go the other way, and Kent executes perfectly.
So the 2 walks, 1 already scores.
Osmus, the catcher, the big target outside. You can see where the pitch was coming in by way of Laredo. And Kent stays right in. Concentration stays through, goes to right. Perfect. That is exactly how you defend against that pitch. That was a good pitch.
Here's Javier, who has 9 RBIs on the season, hitting .269. In the dirt, breaking ball, and it's 1-0.
Remember, we talked about Halama making his second start in the major leagues. When you make a pitch like he made to Kent in the minor leagues, you get outs. Start hitting those pitches, and boy, that'll shake your confidence if you're a young pitcher.
Javier had a couple of hits off of Halama in Houston, had 3 RBIs with those 2 hits. He had 4 total in the game, and that's a strike.
Changeup, good pitch from Halama. Javier, the 1-0 count, sitting on the fastball. That's when a changeup is most effective. And you can see the location that he made to Kent. That ball is on the knee high, off the block. Just, I mean, that's a perfect pitch. When a guy beats you in that location, you start to scratch your head a little bit.
Bonds thought about going, and Javier takes the pitch up high. Bonds is signs that he might be thinking about stealing third if he gets a good enough jump. Brian Johnson waiting on deck. 1-0 Giants. This is the bottom of the first inning.
Right now in John Halama's mind, it is racing. There is panic.
Javier hits one high to left field. Alou shading his eyes, fighting the sun and wind, and he makes the catch. 2 down.
Now that will help the rookie.
And here's Brian Johnson. Well, Brian Johnson hitting .235. He's got 4 hits in 17 plate appearances. One of those 4 hits, a home run on Saturday to tie the game against the D-backs, and Giants eventually went on to win. Bonds, the runner at second. Kent is aboard at first. Outside corner for a strike.
That's his strength. He's going to have to stay out there. I mean, that's where he has to pitch. He doesn't really have enough power to come inside other than to surprise you. A pitch that's only effective once he's established that outer half of the plate.
A look to second, and Johnson fights this one off. It was in on his hands, and it's 0-2. Well, the Giants took 2 out of 3 in Houston, and since then the Astros have played well. They are 4-3 on the year, and they've won a couple in a row. Here's the 0-2 to Brian Johnson, and a swing and a miss, and ball gets away from Osmus, and that'll end the inning. So Giants pick up a run, and after 1 inning, the Giants have taken an early 1-0 lead, and Moises Alou, trotting in from left field, will lead it off. Top of the second inning with the Giants on top, 1-0. And Orel Hershiser will toe the rubber and face Moises Alou, who belted a 3-run home run off of Hershiser in his only other start, and a strike to Alou. He also had a couple of 3-run dongs against Hershiser in the World Series.
Well, prior to the World Series, Alou was 1 for 12 lifetime against Hershiser.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
That has always been sort of an Achilles heel for Moises Alou, that slider that starts out away and crashes off the plate. He has a hard time laying off that pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Alou, who's batting .190 on the year.
That is such a great 2-pitch sequence from Hershiser. He gets the second strike with a slider, then he tries to backdoor him with a sinker. Because you have to believe that Alou's saying, I'm going to lay off that pitch, and that's a good way to steal a strike. You just miss with it.
Down the left field line, a base hit past Miller. Bonds will wait for it in that corner, and Alou has a leadoff double. Alou just reached out and hooked it right past Bill Miller.
You got to be careful when you pitch him away. That's really his strength. Middle of the plate away. But right now, I mean, you think about the 1 for 12. He started his career off against Hershiser, and since that time, he has made up for it. 3 3-run dingers, and you see the location down the way. He caught a little bit too much of the plate, and again, he let Moises Alou extend out, and that's what beat him.
Here's Richard Hidalgo, the center fielder for the Houston Astros, with Alou at second base, and he takes a strike.
This guy's got good bat speed, very strong.
Loves to swing the bat. A home run and 5 RBIs this year. 7 for 23 to the right side. JT Snow has it. The quick throw, and back is Alou. Aurelia could not get back quick enough. Hidalgo hitting the ball to the right side, but could not get it on the ground.
Let's watch the setup from JT Snow. Gets himself square on both feet. A little bit of a jump, and he's thinking second base even before he got the ball. Richard really not enough time to get to second.
Here's Ricky Gutierrez, the shortstop.
Gutierrez had a great spring. He took it right into the season, hitting .391.
Up and in to Gutierrez. 9 for 23 with an RBI. One nothing Giants. This is the top of the second. A strike to Gutierrez.
The key for Gutierrez is to be more selective at the plate. If he can define a strike zone and stay disciplined within it, he can hit at this level. Only 21 walks last year and 303 at bats. That is his key this season. Be a little more disciplined as to what he swings at.
This just misses, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Ricky Gutierrez. Waiting on deck is Brad Ausmus. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
The advantage that Hershiser has over a young hitter is that Hershiser has great command with everything. He's never backed into a 1-pitch situation. Young pitchers who have 2 or 3 things that they can do with the ball. If they can't get 2 of them over, they're backed into a fastball. They've got to throw it. That predictability wears you out. With Hershiser, he's never backed in.
Hit on the ground, foul past Mike Covich.
He can cut the ball, he can sink the ball, he can put it on both sides of the plate. He has a changeup, a slider, curveball. A couple of speeds with both his breaking balls. Thinks extremely well, and one of the best situation pitchers I've ever seen.
2-2. Gutierrez with Alou in his lead at second base. And did he go around? They're going to check. No, says Paul Schreiber. You're going to see a number of names that you do not recognize when it comes to umpiring this year. I believe there's 6 new umpires in each league. Three balls and 2 strikes. Get on the ground again. Foul. Ball dude. Ooh, the ricochet got him, but he knocked it down.
Got both ankles. Dick, you could have made us proud.
There's lefty. Charlie Relaford calling balls and strikes. Paul Schreiber at first base. Ed Montague is umpiring at second, and Dana DeMuth at third. 3-2 to Gutierrez, and it's inside. He walked him.
Well, plan now to avoid day of game lines. And how do you do it? Well, the Giants have a new 6-pack offer that you might want to take part in. 6-packs start at only $25. You got 6 different packs to choose from. Call 1-800-SF-GIANT right now because ticket reps are standing by. You've got all kinds of great different packages. 5, you got Friday night, you got Saturday, Sunday packs. Check it out. In every one of those packs, you get a free Dodger game. That's right, a free Dodger game. Check it out, new Giant 6-packs.
Brad Ausmus off to a slow start. 3 for 20. And he takes a strike. Ausmus, who started out in the Yankees organization, drafted by the Colorado Rockies in the expansion draft, then went to San Diego. Swings and chops it foul to Detroit, and now with the Houston Astros in his second year.
4 for 17 lifetime against Hershiser. Moderate success.
Oh, 2. John Halama is on deck. Ausmus hits it on the ground to Miller. Try to go around the horn to Kent to Snow. Double play. 5-4-3 gets Hershiser out of it here in the top of the second. Is Miller, a good throw, and Kent returns it to JT. 1-0 Giants. Bottom of the second inning coming up with the Giants on top, 1-0. Well, the gentleman standing, Larry Baer, the executive vice president and chief operating officer. Next to him, the mayor of this great city, Willie Brown, and next to him, of course, Peter McGowan. And today, however, it's Larry Baer and Pam Baer Day because this couple had a baby yesterday. Zachary Cody Baer, 7 pounds 15 ounces. Congratulations to the Bear family. They now have 3 little bears.
Da, 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 da,
Pam,
da,
Joshua,
da, da, da.
Jonathan, all doing great.
My 3 sons.
However, Larry is frazzled as ever.
Oh yeah, you thought he'd had the kid.
Here's JT Snow and a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Well, he was taking full credit for it this morning.
He gave me 4 cigars. He was so excited. He was just giving them out there, but I got 4 of them.
Yeah, that was an extra one for the one that probably will come in about 2 more years. Into center field. Coming in is Hidalgo, and he'll make the catch. Snow retired, bringing up Rich Aurelia. Well, this must be a big game. Willie Brown is here, huh? The mayor. Aurelia batting .308 with a couple of RBIs. Following Aurelia will be Orel Hershiser. Rich Aurelia. And the pitch from Halama is inside as he backs off the plate. Good, forget about good. Great crowd this afternoon. Hardly any open seats that we can see. Certainly no sections that are available. The way we like it. Halama to Aurelia, and that misses.
For John Halama, you have to wonder as to how he's going to handle pitching in front of a crowd this size. Second start in the big leagues. Crowd well in excess of 50,000 here today at 3Com. And the one thing that stuns you the first time you go out there and perform in front of a large crowd is the electricity and the sound that complements everything that happens. It's not anything you've ever heard. And the adrenaline that you have at the start of a game really prolongs deep into the game. You have a hard time wearing it off. something you never really forget.
3-1 the count to Rich Aurelia, and he takes a low, ball 4.
Well, every night Fox Sports News brings a complete wrap-up of the day in sports live. Check it out, Fox Sports News on Fox Sports Bay Area tonight at 10:30.
Here's Orel Hershiser, and the Astros think that he's going to bunt. And the pitch to Hershiser, who shortens up to bunt, and it's low.
Hershiser was really almost apologetic about his at-bats in Houston, but the humidity in Houston caused a bacterial fungus in his contact lenses, and it really blurred his vision. He said in the batter's box, he said, I couldn't see the ball. He said, I'm a good bunter, and he said, I didn't even come close.
Now the throw to first, and Aurelia is back. So you bought that bacterial fungus stuff?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Plus, he said, "Don't tell anybody."
Here's the pitch to Hershiser, and he shortens up the bunt and swings, and Osmus will give chase, and a nice effort, and he just banged himself right into the Giants dugout, that screen down there, and he bounces up, but I'm not sure he's feeling that good.
He got a fence post right in the ribs. Great effort from the Astros catcher Brad Osmus. You see him go down and slide. Watch his right side, just wrap around that pole. Ouch. One more look.
Ow.
The Astros have to feel lucky he's back in there, didn't break a rib.
What a good effort, though, by Brad Osmus.
That'll knock your wind out.
So Hershiser showed bunt and then swung away.
He can do that. He handles the bat well. He gets that bat out early and freezes that third baseman. One thing the Astros were doing in Houston is they were really cheating in on the bunt situation. The Giants were not freezing the third baseman. The way you do that is simply get out and show that bunt early.
Dusty Baker in his familiar spot in the dugout, and Hershiser lays it down right in front of the plate, and it is a beauty. And he advances the runner, and okay, I believe the fungus stuff now. 2-4 on the sacrifice bunt.
He does it absolutely perfectly. Gets the ball down right side, makes the catcher feel the ball. Then he gets on the right side of the base pass so he does not get hit by the ball. If he is inside the base pass, he gets hit, then he is out, the runner goes back. So a good job all the way around, bunting and base running.
2 outs with Aurelia now in scoring position. Hamilton popped out to left field, and a big sweeping curveball stays inside. 1-0. Scoreboard balls and strikes have gone out. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Hamilton, and he swings and pops it back into the seats, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Fox box up in the left-hand corner of your screen. Keep an eye on that. That's what we're going to do. Bill Miller waiting on deck. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ron Wotus shouting at Aurelia at second base, and the curveball is inside. It may not have been a curveball. Hamilton stayed in there.
He was looking for the curve. He really opened up thinking he's going to pick that thing off, and it kept boring in on him. Fastball. He's guessing against Halama. I still don't think he feels comfortable against him. I don't think he's picking the ball up at his release. Halama kind of flops the ball out at you. Starts from the first base side of the rubber. Real slow, lazy leg kick, and then just kind of flops the ball in on you. And I don't think Hamilton's seeing it real well.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Hamilton, and he hits a slow roller at Biggio, and he will throw Hamilton out by a step. No runs, no hits. The Giants will strand one. We've completed 2 here at 3Com Park. 1-0 Giants.
The third inning here at 3Com, 1-0 Giants, and it's time now for Whatever It Takes, brought to you by Grand Auto Supply. And whatever it takes today is going to salute the effort from Brad Ausmus, the Astros catcher, as he sacrifices himself in an attempt to catch the pop-up. And we only hope that he is not hurt, but whatever it is, that's a whatever it takes. Wait, Grand Auto Supply should be happy with that effort, huh?
I would think so. That's as good as it gets. John Halama will bat first with the Giants leading 1-0. Halama standing in, a left-handed hitter facing Orel Hershiser. And the first pitch is inside, 1-0. Halama as a hitter is 0 for 1.
Pretty healthy cut right there.
Yeah, it sure was. 1 ball and 1 strike to Halama. And that's low.
And the one thing you learn if you play long enough is that if a guy's got a bat in his hands, he's dangerous.
Hershiser right in the webbing of his glove, and he underhands it to JT Snow.
Now there's still some prime seat locations being held for season ticket purchases. Why not become a season ticket holder? The 17 best game plan includes interleague games, the Dodgers, the Braves, Bat Day, Fireworks Night, and much, much more. 17 best game plans start at only $85. Received season ticket holder benefits including postseason rights. Call 1-800-SF-GIANTS right now. How about Hershiser, huh? 39 years old, like a big old kitty cat out there bouncing off that mound, making that defensive play.
Got a little extension on that glove. Here's Biggio, who hit a ball in the gap in left center field that Hamilton tracked down.
Hershiser kind of vultures when he gets on the rubber. Everything's together. The hands lay down the sides, square away. He kind of slumps his shoulders down on you and kind of squints his eyes. The vulture.
Strike to Biggio.
This has been a hard out for Hershiser over the years. Biggio has had great success lifetime against Hershiser, 446, and hit the ball hard in his first at bat today.
Yeah, Biggio's a pest, and he can be a tough out for anyone that scoots by Brian Johnson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Biggio, 32 years old. You know the story. Started out as a catcher, won a Gold Glove. Said, this job is easy. I want to try another position. Played second base, won a Gold Glove.
That is so remarkable.
Sweeping curveball that misses 2-1. And
well, how do you feel about that? You're an old second baseman. Here's a catcher learns your trade and gets a Gold Glove with it. What's that all about?
I know, he makes it look like you can just drop anything and go out there and play second base. No problem.
Is it that easy?
No. Took me 25 years to figure it out. It took him a year and a half. Get on the ground, foul. Somebody brought themselves a net. Look at that. You can bend it.
Veteran move right there. I know I used to get ragged when somebody would you know, have a great arm in the minor league, couldn't hit, and they threw a toe plate on the guy and he became a pitcher. Like it was like, well, when all else fails, I'll just go be a pitcher.
We'll make this guy a pitcher. Really? Swing and a miss. And Biggio strikes out.
Third strikeout for the Orel of Hershiser, and he comes on a breaking ball to Biggio, and that's not easy to do. Good location with it. I think that was just a straight change.
He'll Dusty Baker School of Baseball. There's a graduate, a couple of them. And just to prove it, he's got the skipper's signature on his hat. Derek Bell swings and fouls it at the plate, and it's 0-1. 3 strikeouts now for Hershiser.
When are we going to get our Dusty Baker hat?
I know. Everybody else has got one.
We've been going to his school for a long time. Learned a lot of baseball from that man. As have a lot of the Giants. And certainly the youngsters that go there pick up a lot.
0-2. The
Perfect
scoreboard
pitch.
is back, by the way.
Perfect pitch. He'll drop that curveball right between home plate and the catcher's foot. And for Derek Bell as a low ball hitter, that's just too inviting. Can't lay off it.
Looks like Brian Johnson has got his mask back. 0-2 to Derek Bell.
Johnson wants a fastball upstairs.
Got him. And that'll retire the side. 4 strikeouts for Orel Hershiser. Giants leading 1-0. Miller, Bonds, and Kent coming up. We're at 3Com Park. It's the home opener for the Giants. I'm Dwayne Kuiper along with my partner Mike Krupko, and the Giants are leading in this one 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The fan of the game,
Little Kate.
here's Bill Miller. Inside to Bill Miller, who walked and scored in the 1st inning.
You think Sherry Davis got started that way?
Absolutely. Public address announcer Sherry Davis. Swing and a miss by Miller as he swung at a bad pitch, and that evens the count at 1 apiece.
Oh, he got Gumby shoulders too when he swung through it. Reminded me of Darrell Evans. He hunched his shoulders. He didn't want to go after that ball in the dirt.
Miller swings and misses again, and it's 1-2. John Halama right now has dazzled Bill Miller. And Miller hits one down the line, and that'll be just foul. Giants have 1 hit, RBI single from Jeff Kent. Halama has walked 3. Miller hits it on the ground to Gutierrez, who backhanded the ball that was hit right in front of him, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, I think Gutierrez got away with one there. That's sloppy shortstop play. They say just make the everyday plays, but there's no need to come into the backhand position to field this ball. And that's when you start having errors. And if that would have been an error, that was an unnecessary one.
League MVP and 7-time All-Star, number 25, Barry Bonds.
That's great. It brought a smile to the left fielder.
Bonds turned around and took a look.
She's doing great. She's got her game face on.
You know, Bonds with that grin as if to say, don't remind that guy out there, please. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Bonds, and it's low. Halama walked Bonds in the 1st.
Keeping the ball down and away. Careful not to miss out over the plate.
Bonds got underneath it. Sean Berry giving chase, and he makes the catch. All right, now let's hear Jeff Kent in his introduction.
Batting third, Jeff Kent.
All right, shortened it up a little bit for Jeff Kent.
Now knowing Jeff Kent, that's probably the way he wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't like to draw a lot of attention to himself.
Kent hit a line drive to right field in the 1st inning to knock in Bill Miller. And a curveball was in for a strike. You know, the fans acknowledge what a fine job young lady did. Inside corner, strike 2 call.
2 good pitches from Halama, both on the inside half. He got beat away, which led to the only run of the game. Ken, an excellent at bat back in the first. Went to right field on a breaking ball, backdoor curveball, and now twice they've come inside.
Kent hits it fair right over the bag at third, and Bagwell just stays on the bag to end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for John Halama. 3 complete here at 3Com. Giants are on top 1-0, and it'll be Bagwell, Berry, and Alou coming up. Well, have we reached the 4th inning here at 3Com Park, and the Giants are leading 1-0. This little guy digging the game and the score, and Bagwell to stand in, and he singled in the first inning. And the first pitch is away. 1-0 to Jeff Bagwell. Followed by Sean Berry and then Moises Alou. Hershiser to the plate. Bagwell swings and fouls it. Now the Cardinals are beating up on the Rockies at Coors Field. It's 9-1 in the 6th inning.
I wonder if Mark McGwire has left Earth at Coors Field.
He's probably got 4. Low. Bagwell 3rd in the MVP voting for last year. Walker, Piazza, and then Bagwell, and then his teammate Biggio right behind him. 3-1. Bonds deep in left field, as you would expect. Hamilton straight away in center. Inside to Bagwell, and he'll take the walk. Second walk that Hershiser is issued.
Oh, a reminder of the next Giants telecast. Join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock when the Houston Astros will take on the San Francisco Giants live from 3Com Park. Catch all the excitement of Game 2 of the series as Kirk Reeder takes the mound for the Giants against Astros Jose Lima.
Here's Sean Berry, who struck out looking in the first inning. Bagwell with his lead and a foul to the backstop. You know, one thing that we have seen this year that's different in this ballpark is you take a look at Sean Berry right behind home plate, the Giants logo between home plate, and attractive looking.
Dressed it up. I like it. Clean look to it.
Berry takes it low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moises Alou on one knee near the on-deck circle waiting. Bagwell in the first inning did attempt to steal, but it was on the call, 3rd strike to end the inning. There's Alou. So Hershiser with Bagwell going. The pitch to Berry is high and fouled on the right field line and in the seats.
I think with Hershiser's history, and Larry Dierker knows how good his sinker is today, they want to try and stay out of the double play by sending Bagwell. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
He's pitching for it right now, and he'll go after Berry with sliders and sinkers, trying to get that thing to whack down on the ground.
1-2. Hershiser will keep an eye on Bagwell. Giants turn to double play to end the second inning. Miller to Kent to Snow. Strike.
Berry
strikes out.
You can't plant a sinker on the inside corner any better than that. And Barry, who's quick inside, just gets locked. Watch the location. Johnson sitting up on the inside corner, and that's some paint. See ya.
Here's Olu, who doubled down into the left field corner to lead off the second. Bagwell with a short lead gets back easily.
Moises Alou along with Rob Nin are set to get their rings tomorrow. Dave Dombrowski, the general manager over the Florida Marlins, is going around the country giving all of the Marlins who are no longer with the Florida organization their rings.
Bagwell goes. Johnson could not get a grip on it, and Bagwell has a stolen base, his third of the year. You can see Johnson trying to get a hold of it. Take a look at that. The Lynches are celebrating their 51st wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Jim Lynch, our director, his mom and dad. Happy anniversary. Pitches a strike to Alou. Bagwell with a good lead at second base. The 1-1 pitch to Alou, and he just missed. Wanted to hit the outside corner and didn't. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Steady diet of breaking balls. And it's sort of a swing has happened in the relationship between Hershiser and Alou. Remember, Hershiser had it his way for a long time, 1 for 12, but boy, the last 12 at bats have been all Alou. Hershiser right now is trying to figure out a way to go after him.
And he spun that one, and it's 3-1.
Another breaking ball.
Well, with the base open, and even though it's early in the game, and you're working towards the bottom of the batting order, less experienced hitters, it may be that if Hershiser walks Alou, that's not going to bother him at all.
No, and he has a good sinker today. He's very well aware that he can get a ground ball, so I think you're right. He'll be careful here. Certainly won't give it on a 3-1 pitch. Giants fans will also grow to know Hershiser. When he gets men on base, the pace of the game comes to an abrupt halt. He is very deliberate.
Hershiser and Johnson, and now Alou. And that one is going to scoot away from Johnson and Bagwell. Muslin goes over to third. Well, that was not supposed to be in the whole scheme of things.
3-1 after all breaking balls. What do you throw? Another breaking ball, and he just pulls this one down. That ball ate Johnson up. It's a good job just keeping the ball in front of him.
Here's Richard Hidalgo, who is trying to go to right field to move a runner from second to third, lined out to JT Snow. Bagwell at third with Alou at first. And Hidalgo takes it inside. Young man out of Caracas, Venezuela. Brian Johnson is going to go out and have a word with Hershiser.
Brian Johnson want to make sure he knows what Hershiser's thinking with runners at first and third. Are you going to pitch for the strikeout, or are you going to pitch for the ground ball? Opened up the at bat with a breaking ball.
To left field. Bonds is going back. The wind knocks it down. He will make the catch. Tagging is Bagwell, and this game is tied. So a sacrifice fly for Richard Hidalgo.
Well, there's your dead field. That ball was crushed. Ball up in the strike zone. Hidalgo, a good quick bat. He got just about all that but ball, and yet it didn't even get to the warning track. Right out over the plate, belt high, and boom. And right now you're thinking stay in. Wind knocked it down and hardly got to the warning track. 61 throws on the day for Hershiser.
Here's Ricky Gutierrez. So the wild pitch allowing Bagwell to go to third plays a big part in that run. 1-1. Hershiser steps off. Olu is the base runner at first.
Olu could steal a base. He's good for about 10 a year. Most he's ever had was 17 back in 1993 with Montreal.
Hit on the ground. Miller has got it. He throws from his knees and they get a loop. Bill Miller giving ground and staying with that tough ground ball to his left. Makes the play and gets the force play to end the inning. Home half of the fourth coming up. Astros 1, Giants 1.
Well, one of the great things that the Giants were able to do last year and this year were see some of the new fields, Coors Field in Denver. And one of the most spectacular things about Coors Field was the club level section. That is what's happening. Absolutely wonderful amenities that surround the ballpark throughout. Great food, service. Of course, the vistas are fabulous. You've got lounges and bars, and you've got all kinds of the amenities, I think, which are quite unusual, all the way down to a cigar room. The Bob Bank One Ballpark, another spectacular achievement for club seats, and you can have all that by calling 1-800-5-GIANTS. Opening day 2000. Be part of it at Pacific Bell Park.
Here's Stan Javier, and he takes the pitch low. Javier flied out to left field. Only one more year, or only one more home opener in this ballpark. 2-0 to Javier, and then the big one, the opener in the year 2000.
Yeah, you said that today when we were walking up to the booth. We only have one more opening day here, and I kind of hit home. We're getting close.
3-0 to Javier. Halama, after his team tied it up, certainly does not want to walk the leadoff hitter.
No, that is the one thing you are very aware of when you're out there. You don't want to give a free pass, especially since your team scratched to tie the score.
And he comes back with a strike.
Halama has already walked 3 in the day against just 1 strikeout.
Javier tries to bunt his way on and bunts it to the backstop, and it's 3-2.
Javier can drag or push the bunt. He saw Sean Berry, the third baseman of the Astros, really playing a deep set of third, and hey, they're going to give you the base, might as well take it.
By the way, it's now 9-8 in Colorado. Cardinals are still leading. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Javier, and he strokes it down the left field line, and that'll hook foul. They tell us Dante Bichette in that game is 12 for 12.
He has been red hot.
Did he have 5 hits yesterday?
He's had 3 games already of 4 hits or more. Had 4 all last season. He said that no matter what he does, though, he'll be 2 or 3 points behind Gwynn at the end of the year.
3-2 pitch to Javier, up the middle. Biggio backhands it down to a knee, and he will throw to his buddy Bagwell, 1 down.
Boy, nice play by the Gold Glove second baseman of the Astros, Craig Biggio. Went to his backhand and sort of did a slide into the backhand. Now this is a former catcher. Keep that in mind. To his right, very quickly slides into it, to his feet, squares, and shoots him down. Nice play. That was a base hit he just took away from Stan Javier.
Here's Brian Johnson.
He did it with a blindfold on, okay?
Yes, he did, and the gear. Johnson foul. Looked like he hit that one right off the end of the bat. 0-1. Johnson 0 for 1 with a strikeout, hitting .222. Takes it outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. JT Snow waiting on deck. Two and 1. We will also televise the ball game tomorrow night as you see JT Snow. Kirk Reeder for the Giants. This is foul back against Jose Lima. There's Kirk Reeder, who gets the job today of filling out that chart.
He's already working on game face. That's good.
2 and 2. Swing and a miss, and Brian Johnson strikes out for the 2nd time. Here's JT Snow, who hit a fly ball to center field to lead off the 2nd. And check out the hot and cold zone for JT Snow.
Kill zone, middle in, likes the ball up.
Down and in to JT Snow.
I find it quite unusual, however, that little block right in the middle of that thing was blue. I thought that'd be red for everybody.
Everybody. 2 balls and no strikes.
A little block right in the middle. I thought that's just sort of a given. That'd be red.
I think it is a given. JT got a base hit. Past the diving Sean Berry.
JT Snow early on this season hitting almost 300 from the right side. From the left side hitting 200. And this is the base hit. He gets a breaking ball on the outside corner. Tough pitch to the pole, but it stays in nicely to go get it. And gets a nice 2-out hit.
Rich Aurelia walked in the 2nd. So Snow a base runner with 2 down. And now Halama will step off and Aurelia stepping out.
Halama, like Aurelia, from Brooklyn, New York.
In the dirt, blocked by Brad Ausmus, 1-0. One of the big early stories so far has been the success of the Chicago Cubs. Cubbies are 6-1, and they're losing 3-2 to the Mets in the 6th inning. As Aurelia takes it low, but right on the heels of the Cubs are the Brewers, who are 5-1.
Both teams opening up against the Expos and then playing the Marlins. The Marlins and Expos have had their difficulties. Between the two teams, the Expos and the Marlins, they are 1-12. Montreal still looking for their first win.
And that one win was an opening day win for the Marlins against the Cubs.
This is a situation for Rich Aurelia, where he's really got to understand that pitcher out there isn't going to give in to him. He's behind 2-0, but there's a pitcher on deck.
Well, that is not the type of 2-0 swing you want, if you can call that a swing. But Aurelia checked it into the seats.
Well, Aurelia turned around and asked Charlie Rutherford if that was a strike that he checked on.
Three balls and one strike.
That's good discipline to watch that pitch. Now again, just like that 2-0 pitch, He's got another 3-1 situation, which ordinarily would mean a fastball count, something good to hit. But for Halama, he's probably going to keep it out there on the corners the way he did the 2-0 count.
Aurelia has got one that could go up the alley. Alou with a nice play by cutting it off. Going to third is Snow. And Alou saved a run.
Yes, he did.
If that ball gets by Alou, Snow scores easily.
He gets the 3-1 pitch. It's a fastball, same location of the 2-0 pitch. And look at the stretch from Alou to cut that ball off. And as you point out, Kai, if it gets by him, that's at least 1 run.
Well, Hershiser is going to get an opportunity to swing the bat. Sacrifice bunt in the second.
Well, they know reputation of Hershiser, good bunter. They're playing Barry in at the line at third, in on the grass rather.
And Hershiser fouls it back, and it's 0-1.
I mean, this is where Hershiser really gets pesky. He's a good bat control guy, doesn't have much swing. It's almost like he's playing pepper with the hitter, with the pitcher rather, and he just gears the whole at bat right back up the middle. One thing great about being a pitcher, when you're hit, you don't have to have style points. You just need to make contact.
And this scoots past Osmus, and here comes J.T. Snow. Giants catch a break here in the 4th inning.
Well, indeed they do. Osmus, who's excellent at blocking balls, could do nothing as this ball hit the front lip of home plate. And when it hits home plate, it just hops right up over the shoulder of both Osmus and umpire Charlie Relaford. Down, whoop, there it goes, and almost into the stands. Saw Hershiser point to the plate.
And a swing and a foul in and out of the glove of Brad Osmus, and it's 1-2. Well, after 2 are out, the Giants pick up a run. Hershiser waited on that curveball and still was out in front and fouled it off the end of the bat.
I think he hit it down at the backside of the bat. Like I said, you don't need style points. You just need to make contact. You can't get any shorter than that.
1-2. Got him. Side retired. Giants pick up a run. And we have completed 4 innings. It's the San Francisco Giants leading the Houston Astros 2-1. Well, here at the ballpark, it's a 2-1 lead for the Giants. I've seen lots of little people at the park today, huh?
A little lump of clay.
Fits very nicely right in the old man's lap. Here's Brad Osmus, followed by John Halama, and then the top of the batting order. And Hershiser throws and a slow roller that Aurelia is going to have to charge and get rid of quickly, but they get Osmus 1 down.
No problem. Good play from Aurelia. Aurelia has good quick feet. Once he gets to the ball, he sets himself. Always has good balance and a good arm.
A 1 pitch out. You got to like that.
So quickly the feet set. Crow hop into a throw. Throws a little below 3/4, almost sidearm. Throws about the same angle as John LeMaster used to, Kai.
Yep. Here's Halama, who grounded out in the 3rd, and he swings and misses. Oh, 0-2 with Biggio on deck. Johnny Lee. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Watch how this hits the lip, and this is what infielders sometimes have to worry about. It's that lip and just flattens right out. Jeff Kent will have a play, and he will take his time, and there's 2 down.
Couple sinkers, couple of ground balls. It's always the key. Hershiser is on. He'll have a lot of ground balls. He's always had a good sinker. That's his backbone. That's the one pitch that he can go to and always get movement with.
Biggio is taking his time, allowing Halama to get back into the dugout. Frank Robinson would not be happy with this. We saw Frank in spring training, and he's traveling around, or was then, to each club, giving them some ideas of how to speed up the game. But Biggio is only doing what every other hitter does. When a pitcher makes an out and he spins on this one and hits it foul.
I'm a little surprised he didn't take a pitch.
You're right. Very slowly took his time getting in there.
Now he's giving his pitcher a breather, which you appreciate when you start to get into the deeper part of the game. You're going down into a quick inning and you look like you're going to be right back out there, especially for Halama, who had a long inning in the 4th. A breather feels good right about now.
One of the kids, no school this week for some, I guess. Huh?
Both sides of Easter. Some schools get the week before, some get the week after.
Well, what a great day. Come out to the ballpark. High into center field. Hamilton broke back. Now he comes in, racing in, but it's Javier who makes the catch as he cuts in front of Hamilton for the out. 1-2-3 inning for Orel. Hershiser, his second in the game. Giants are leading 2-1. Top of the batting order coming up.
Well, we're heading to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's 2-1 Giants. It's time now for Hoover as they present our pickup of the game. And the 1998 season of 3Com got underway very quickly when the first out of the game was a super play from Darryl Hamilton to rob Craig Biggio of extra bases. And that is the first out of the game, and that is our Hoover pickup of the game.
Here's Hamilton, who is 0 for 2. Giants on top 2-1. Halama to the plate, and Hamilton takes a strike.
Hamilton needs a hit off of Halama
just to break the spell.
And an 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in Houston. He's 0 for 2 today.
Well, he's shortened up to bunt, and it's a ball and a strike.
Now, did you do that against the guy you had trouble hitting against?
Anything it took. I'd get hit. One ball, 1 strike pitch to Hamilton, and that is a little high. And we were talking about seeing some of the kids out here at the ballpark. Biggio gets hit all the time.
And he leads the league.
And Hamilton pulls up. 3 balls and 1 strike.
It was Biggio that got hit in game 2 of the series against the Giants in Houston. He started it off against Hershiser. Got drilled. He sort of leaned into a breaking ball, and that led to a 4-run first for the Astros.
Hamilton pops it back and out of play. I was talking about seeing all the kids here, and I think in Cincinnati we're on opening the home opener. There is no school, which I think it should be that way all over the place.
Nice play, Kahuna. John Miller snatching one out of the air.
Here's the payoff pitch to Hamilton, and he hits a bullet past Bagwell, and he's got his hit off of Halama. And Bell will throw it into second, not in time, and a double for Darryl Hamilton. Hamilton with a smile.
He's looking at his teammates, and he just got the monkey off his back right there. A 3-2 fastball. Halama did not want to walk Hamilton to open up the inning. He leaks it out in the inner half of the plate, and Hamilton was all over it. So Hambone, a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the 5th. And that just wipes out the magic that Halama had against him for 2 games. And you can see just how much of the plate that ball bit off, almost right down Broadway. Nevertheless, a good at bat for Darryl Hamilton.
Now here's Bill Miller. Miller's job, get him over to third. And he bunts it, and it's a beauty. Halama goes to third, not in time, and he made a mistake.
Well, a young mistake from rookie John Halama. There is no force there. The play has to be perfect for Sean Berry to get the tag on. The ball went high, allowed Hamilton, who obviously runs well, plenty of time to get underneath it. He comes down anticipating the lead base, which is what you're supposed to do. But unless you have it just wide open, you get the easy out. And they opt for third, and look at the reaction from Bill Miller. He knows a mistake was made. Now it's up to the heart of the lineup to capitalize.
Sacrifice and a fielder's choice. No at bat for Miller. Here's Bonds. Low to Bonds, who has walked and he's popped out. Halama at the belt. Here's the pitch. Bonds hits a ground ball into right field, a base hit. Hamilton scores. Miller puts on the brakes and he gets back just in time. Bonds knocks in a run. It's 3-1. Nothing more than a little ground ball.
Well, the beauty of hitting with a runner on first base, you have the first baseman holding the runner on, and a huge hole between the first and second baseman. Biggio pinched over to second base to anticipate the double play, and Bonds finds the hole. Miller making a wise decision here, getting back. No use to gamble when you've got nobody out, runners at first and second, and the 4, 5, 6 guys due up.
C.J. Nitkowski is throwing in the bullpen as Vern Rule goes out to the mound. There's Nitkowski. So Bonds with his first RBI of the season. How about that? The Giants have a 4-2 road trip, and Bonds doesn't knock in a run. Miller at second. Bonds is at first. Here's Kent, who's 1 for 2.
First at bat, they stayed away. Second at bat, they went inside.
Went away, and he got a strike. It's 0-1. Stan Javier on deck. 5 hits for the Giants. 2 here in the 5th inning. A double look to second. Miller bluffed, and the pitch is on the inside corner, and it's 0-2.
That was a nice pitch from Halama. That might be the best curveball he's thrown today to get it in on a strike situation. So big on the break. I think Kent gave up on the pitch.
So Kent now will have to battle Halama, falling behind 0-2. Osmond's telling his middle infielders, hold Miller close. And now he spins around to chase Miller back. Biggio, Gutierrez. Kent rolls it foul.
Fighting to stay alive. You got to protect. Big slow curveball again. Pretty much the same type of break that they got the second strike with, only for Halama he kept it down out of the strike zone. Another good pitch. And for Kent, just fighting it off. He's in a defensive swing right now, trying to make contact that gets through the infield.
Miller and Bonds are your base runners. 0-2 to Kent. Kent hits it high. Alou going back, and this one is off the wall. Here comes Miller. He scores. Bonds goes to third. Kent with a double. It's 4-1. Kent with his second RBI, and here comes Larry Dierker.
What a great at bat for Kent. Not a defensive hack there. He fought off the 0-2 pitch prior. He gets a ball, it's up in the strike zone, and he murders it. Hits it so well, in fact, it's got the top spin. The only thing that kept it in the yard.
So Nitkowski is coming in. And we'll have a new pitcher, C.J. Nitkowski. Giants on top. Now the Giants have scored twice here in the 5th inning, and they may not be done yet. Jeff Kent, take a look at this.
When you're hitting in that 4th spot, you dream of pitches like this to drive. And the beauty of Jeff Kent, and he's got that good compact swing. So he really doesn't really sacrifice too much in a 2-strike count. He still has enough pop to take you off the wall or over it. And look at his skipper, Dusty Baker. He appreciates good hitting. And for Jeff Kent, the RBI single in the 1st to right field, and here with 2 strikes to jerk that ball with as much pop as he did in left field. He is dialed in, folks.
Nitkowski, a left-hander, will be facing Stan Javier. Nitkowski has been in 3 games. He's allowed 4 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings. 0-1 on the season. Javier is 0 for 2. Infield is playing in, and this one is outside for a ball, 1-0.
I think Javier has great ability to wait out a pitch. Does not give up on the outer half of the plate for the big, slow breaking balls that a lot of these left-handers from the Astros seem to have.
There's your infield, tight. Swing and a miss by Javier. Stan has 9 RBIs on the season. 8 of them against Houston. Strike 2 call, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good pitch from Nitkowski. That's the difference between he and Halama. He's got a little more pop in his fastball, and he plants it well on the inner half of the plate, which sets up the outside half. I think every Giant hitter is taking the outside approach to these lefties, and they leave themselves a little susceptible to the inside fastball. But not all of these left-handers can make that pitch. Nitkowski can.
Now Javier has stepped out twice. One ball and 2 strikes to Stan Javier. It's a ground ball to 3rd, where Barry will check the runner and throw out Javier. 1 out. So a big out for Nitkowski. Brian Johnson will take a crack at it.
Ground ball, you've got to make sure it gets through the infield. So Bonds checks to make sure ball's fielded cleanly. See him bluffed at home, trying to distract Barry. Nothing doing. Solid play by the Astros 3rd baseman Sean Barry.
Well, Brian Johnson has struck out twice against Halama, and now he'll take his swings at Nitkowski. Infield is still in. It's low. JT Snow on deck. In Colorado, it's 12-8 St. Louis. You see the way the defense is set up. Center fielder Hidalgo is just to the right of center field, and that curveball is low. 2-0.
Nitkowski has a mulligan. He's got first base open. He's tried a couple times to go out of the strike zone to get Johnson to swing at a bad pitch, and he's missed twice.
Low again. 3 balls and no strike.
I think he just slipped off his back foot there. I'm surprised that here they just don't put him on. Set up the force and take your chances. Nikowski could get a ground ball.
Two in for the Giants. Strike.
Pretty nasty 3-0 pitch. Knee high outside on the black. That pitch there sets up the inside fastball as well.
Johnson got way out in front, and it's a souvenir into the upper deck along the third base side.
There's no question what Nikowski's pitching for now. He's pitching for the strikeout. And it makes no difference that he has 3 balls to go with a 2-strike count. He'll throw anything here. He'll throw what he thinks he can strike Johnson out with.
And Johnson hit it off the post of the backstop, and it's still 3-2.
Short swing from Johnson. He's made the 2-strike adjustment.
So a good battle going on between Nikowski and Brian Johnson. Infield is in. And he struck him out on a breaking ball. And Nikowski is an out away from getting out of a jam.
Now that's outstanding pitching right there from Nikowski. He worked the count on both sides of the plate with a fastball to get to a 2-strike count, and comes in with just as nasty as breaking ball. And he got the strikeout he's looking for.
JT Snow singled and scored in the 4th inning. 1 for 2, flied out in the 2nd. Rich Aurelia waiting on deck. Nikowski throws to Snow, and it's low.
Aurelia knows too that, or Snow knows too that they have a mulligan here. He has to be selective. Nikowski's going to go after Snow the same way he went after Johnson. He's going to try and strike him out, or at least throw him something off speed in a good location to take the sting out of his bat. He doesn't have to give in to the fat part of the plate.
JT fouled it off of Brett Osmus, his mask.
Well, that sounded funky, didn't it?
Yeah, it sounded like it hit some plastic, or just kind of whistled right back into the seats. One ball, 1 strike. Good pitch outside corner to make it 1-2. JT had a little meeting with himself as he walked out of the box. A gust of wind and Snow will step out. See, Jay Nikowski has come in and done a good job.
Well, he's 1 pitch away from pulling off a miracle here.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Of course, JT Snow obviously knows what's at stake here as well. He's trying to pick up his teammates, Javier and Johnson. A base hit here, and Javier and Johnson's inability to drive in the runs is forgotten.
Bonds is at third. At second is Kent. 2-2 pitch. Snow swinging a foul back, and we'll do it again. Well, the place looks full to me.
Nothing better than a ballpark that's full. And opening day 1998. That's how it's supposed to be. Great crowd on hand here today. And they're having a lot of fun. They've been into this game since the beginning. Hershiser got him into it from the first hitter, Biggio.
High to JT Snow. Now it's a full count. And Rich Aurelia hoping that he's going to get a chance to swing the bat here in the 5th inning. Snow in the same spot Brian Johnson was. You just don't know what Nitkowski is going to throw here. Struck him out. Inside corner. Nitkowski does a good job, and that'll retire the side. The Giants do pick up a pair. 6th inning coming up. San Francisco 4, Houston 1. Well, here at 3Com Park in San Francisco, I'm Dwayne Kuiper along with Mike Krukow. And the Giants, scoring 2 runs in the 5th, have taken a 4-1 lead over the Houston Astros. And Orel Hershiser to face Derek Bell, who has struck out twice. And a grounder off the end of the bat, and it's 0-1. You know, one thing I want to make the point about Derek Bell, Mike, it just doesn't look like he makes any adjustments against Hershiser. Like he uses the same strategy in every at bat, and with Hershiser, I think Bell really should try to hit that ball the other way.
Well, he hasn't had good success lifetime. 4 for 25. It's a big inning for Hershiser because he's had a long time to sit on the Giants bench. That inning went a long time, and he was sitting there chilling out, and now he finds himself faced in the heart of the Astros lineup with Bell, Bagwell, and Berry. 3 tough outs. This will be a good test.
1-2 to Derek Bell.
Little four-seamer cut away from Bell. He's got him set up for that slider away in the dirt for strike 3.
Hershiser has struck out 5 and he's walked 3. This will be the 1-2 pitch to Derek Bell, and that one just kind of got away from him, and it's 2-2.
I'm not really sure what that pitch will set up.
So, yeah, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot to set up this next one. You're right.
Setting up for the breaking ball.
He got him for the 3rd time. 1 out.
Oh, that was the pitch you wanted to make the prior pitch when he bounced it, but this is absolutely perfect. Right outside part of the plate and just bottoms out, and he's had great command with that slider all day long. A good pitch for him. You can see the location. You're not going to get hurt in that location even if there's contact made. And that is a weak spot for Derek Bell, set up by the fastball that got the 2nd strike.
Here's Bagwell, who bends back and raises his arms to get out of the way.
Hard stuff in, soft stuff away. He'll backdoor him with sinkers. Worked out outside part of the plate with sliders. Changeup. It's a good mixture of speeds that he's featuring right now. He just missed with that pitch. But that's how you have to go after Bagwell, who's so potent. Doesn't have much swing base, and he's just got so much power. He generates so quickly. Backdoor sinker.
There's the big swing by Bagwell.
Still good movement on the fastball from Hershiser. Now his whole at bat right now is try to get the ball up, stay off the bottom part of the knees, because that's where all of Hershiser's movement's coming from. And when the ball gets down that strike zone, it's taken off. Good slider, break it down. Good sinker, break it down.
3-1. Bagwell walked and scored in the 4th. Johnson with the signs, and Bagwell hits it foul. Well, they had 5 people down there with gloves, and they all missed it.
It's a little short. Dick Gregory, the bald dude on the third base side. He blows right past the net. Finds himself a kid. Nice going, Dick.
A happy young man in the car going home. 3-2. And he tried to come inside of Bagwell, and he just held up for ball 4.
Well, will the San Jose Sharks remain in playoff contention? Find out when they take on the Calgary Flames tonight at 7:30 on Fox Sports Bay Area.
Dusty Baker watching Orel Hershiser.
Hershiser a little disappointed in that ball 4 pitch. He wanted to set up and backed over the sinker and lost it inside. I want to start giving up walks with a 3-run lead.
Here's Barry, who takes it high. Barry has struck out twice. Johnson goes out to have a word with number 53.
It's a little weird, number 53 on Hershiser, who's worn 55 his whole career. Wears 53 out of tribute to his idol, Don Drysdale, his mentor.
One 1-0 to Barry. Look out, and it hit him. So Hershiser puts 2 on here in the 6th.
Well, Dusty Baker's going to come out and find out what the cause of that is from Hershiser. And he will get an honest answer from the veteran. He lost the 3-2 pitch to the inside location, and here to Barry he loses the same thing. And that might be it from Hershiser. If he's tightened up or something, they'll take him out now. No, he's all right.
Now Derek Bell thinking about his 3 at-bats. He struck out 3 times. This is the pitches that he has thrown. Derek Bell.
Stay down and away to Derek Bell. And that's exactly where Hershiser established the at-bats and was quite successful, slapping a hat trick on him. 3 strikeouts.
Moises Alou has doubled and walked. Low and away, 1-0.
Well, the table's set again for Moises Alou. The last 3 games that Alou has had against Hershiser, he has hit a 3-run homer in each of them. 2 in the series last year and 1 in Houston this year.
Bagwell at second, Barry at first, 1-0 to Alou. Low and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, he's pitching for that ground ball. He's trying to get that sinker down around the knees that bottoms out to get Alou to fish at it. It's a big pitch right here.
Alou will look for something that he can drive. 2 balls, no strikes. And he's got it in the left field, a base hit. Bonds gets to it quickly, and they're going to send the runner, and his throw will be cut off by Bill Miller, and it's 4-2. A base hit for Alou, and an RBI, and that'll bring up Hidalgo.
Well, Hershiser went about as far as he could go with Alou. He tried to get him to come out of the strike zone the first 2 pitches, got to a 2-0 count, and then he had to come in. Fastball right over the plate. And I guess you have to sort of feel that holding Alou to a single was not a bad job.
Reed and Poole in the bullpen. Pernoski is waiting for a signal, and he gets it from Reed.
Brian Johnson's trip to the mound was to do nothing more than buy some time for the bullpen.
Here comes Dusty Baker. So the afternoon is over for Orel Hershiser.
And I have to believe that the long inning sort of iced him down. It's not easy when you're 39 years old to stay loose, especially on a cool day. But nevertheless, an outstanding performance. And the ovation should be loud for Orel Hershiser as he walks back.
Well, it's starting to build already, and he hasn't left the mound yet. Looks like he's going to wait for Steve Reed to get there. And here he goes. And they're going to stand here at 3-Count Park. Orel Hershiser tipping his hat to the fans. He leaves the ball game. Reed is in. The Giants have a 4-2 lead. So Orel Hershiser will watch the rest of this inning from the dugout. And then, of course, watch the end from the clubhouse. And this is when he was walking off. Tipped his hat.
Well, young pitchers should take note of this. When you get an ovation from the stands, acknowledge it. It's just a baseball player's way of saying thank you. Good day for Orel Hershiser. Now it's up to Steve Reed to bail him out.
Hershiser looking over the chart, being kept now by Mark Gardner, and Steve Reed will face Richard Hidalgo. And Reed throws a strike. Hidalgo is lined to first, and he had a sacrifice fly in the 4th. Reed has pitched 5 innings. He's had 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, is not allowed a hit this year in a Giants uniform. Barry is at second, and at first is Moises Alou. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Now John Johnstone has joined Jim Poole. Two balls and a strike to Richard Hidalgo with Ricky Gutierrez on deck. And a strike at the knees. 2-2.
He's got him to a 2-strike count, and he's got him to a situation now he can throw the frisbee at him. There's a backdoor sinker, nips the outside corner. That is nasty. Hidalgo, the book on him is he doesn't handle flat breaking balls from right-handers well, and he's got a good chance of seeing one right now.
And it busted way outside, and now a full count. Hidalgo is going to see a lot of playing time in center field as you take a look at Orel Hershiser. And now Reed will step off the back of the mound, and Brian Johnson will go have a visit.
It's another classy thing that Hershiser's doing. You go back to the bench. You've taken you're out of the ball game as a starting pitcher. You go back to the bench and you stay there and you watch the guy who's coming in for you. It bothers me to see guys come in and immediately go into the clubhouse. Stay there and root that guy on. And when he does a good job, you just be up there and you shake his hand when he comes off the field.
Hidalgo pops it up. Hamilton, Kent, but it's Javier who'll make the catch. Two outs for Ricky Gutierrez. Gutierrez has walked and he's grounded out. Top of the 6th inning. Ricky Gutierrez. And there's the breaking ball that starts out at the hitter and it goes into the strike zone.
Oh, a lot of give from Gutierrez. It's tough to hang in there when Reed drops down from the side if you're in that right side of the batter's box.
And look out, the bat ends in foul territory and it's 0-2.
Not a bad bat throw.
No, he did good.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Whee!
We've seen a lot worse than that. Oh, 0-2 to Ricky Gutierrez. Jim Poole and John Stone still warming up. Just off the plate, 1-2.
Oh, he just missed the back door. They set up outside, a little 2-strike paralysis. Wrap around, come back, just missed outside. Good try. But that sets up the slider away.
Now timeout is called. One ball and 2 strikes to Ricky Gutierrez. Popped him up. Kent. Snow. Kent makes the catch. So Steve Reed does an outstanding job replacing Orel Hershiser. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. Coming up 4-2 Giants. Well, do you hate standing in line on game lines here at 3Com? Well, I don't blame you. Here's one way to avoid that. Check out the new Giants 6-pack season ticket. 6-pack started only $25. 6 different packs to choose from. Number to call is 1-800-SF-GIANT now. And remember, 5 games and you get a Dodger game free. That equals 6. Check it out. Here's Rich Aurelia and the pitch is high. Aurelia is walked and he's singled. Nitkowski pitches and the pitch is hit high to right field. Derek Bell fighting everything, but it's Hidalgo who makes the catch.
And I think that Derek Bell was happy to see Hidalgo come over. That was a tough play for the Astros right fielder Derek Bell. Well, welcome back to 3Com, folks. You got wind, you got sun, and thank God you got a center fielder who comes over to back you up. Richard Hidalgo, the rookie, he's been well versed as to how much responsibility the center fielder has to have here in this ballpark.
Charlie Hayes is going to be the pinch hitter for Steve Reed. So Reed pitches 2/3 of an inning and does an outstanding job. And here's Charlie Hayes, 2 for 7 on the season with a home run and 5 RBIs. And it's a strike at the knees. 0-1, top of the batting order, and Darryl Hamilton on deck. 6th inning. And that's a strike. Charlie Hayes going, wait a minute, I've seen 2 pitches and it's 0-2. There's Tavares in the bullpen.
Charlie Hayes not afraid to get down the count. Good 2-strike hitter. Good off-field hitter.
Outside.
I'll tell you what though, Nitkowski's been dealing.
There's Hamilton. 1-2 pitch to Charlie Hayes. Hit into right center field. Hit pretty well. Hidalgo on his horse in the gap, and he tracks it down. A nice play by Hidalgo.
Now Charlie Hayes' reputation cost him, because the Astros had Hidalgo playing shaded to the right center field gap side on those extra few steps that he got by positioning himself. Really loomed large at the end of this play. But as we talked about, Charlie Hayes going true to form there. 2-strike hitting and pops the ball well the opposite side.
Hamilton takes the strike. Hamilton doubled the lead off the 5th inning. Outside from Nitkowski. 4-2 Giants. Nitkowski winds and throws, and Hamilton hits a ground ball to Berry at third, and he will flip it across to Bagwell. And Nitkowski with a good inning. 1-2-3. Giants retired in order. 7th inning coming up. 4-2. Giants leading. Mark McGuire and Tony La Russa return to the Bay Area this weekend. Cardinals visit 3Com Park. Friday night 7:05. Saturday at 1:05. It's Examiner Magnet schedule day for the first 30,000 fans in attendance. And then Sunday, of course, it's Easter Sunday. That game will start at 1:05. And the number to call for tickets, 510-762-BALL. Cardinals, Giants, great weekend of baseball. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Julian Tavares on the pitch for the Giants. Hershiser went 5 1/3, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Tavares is not allowed an earned run in 5 innings.
He's been as nasty this season as he was all last year.
5 strikeouts, 1 walk. 4-2 Giants are leading. Billy Spires is going to be pinch hitting for Brad Ausmus. So Spires is the pinch hitter. Dave Clark, a left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle, and Spires takes it outside, 1-0. Our new mascot. Still the Seal, though, right?
Yeah,
Lucille.
Lucille. Having fun.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Billy Spires, and it's low and in. Much different costume, and I have to admit that this is a lot more friendlier to look at.
You didn't like the old model, huh?
That was a rat. 2-0 pitch to Spires is a strike at the knees. There he is, huh?
So this one is Lucille, and the other one was Lou Rat. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
I'm convinced that, in all honesty, it's all about kids. If the kids like them, then it's great. And you know, that's one the kids can like. I think the kids were half afraid of the one last year. Strike 3 called to Spires. He never got a chance to swing the bat.
92-mile-an-hour sinker that just paints the outside corner at the knees. This guy has just got some unhittable stuff at times. And for Spires, who is an excellent pinch hitter, all he can do is watch. You can see how perfect that pitch is location-wise, right on the black. See ya.
Here's Clark.
It's a rough AB right there.
Dave Clark, veteran left-handed hitter, takes it low. 1 hit in 6 at bats this year. Had 22 pinch hits last year, which led the major leagues.
Now, one thing that the Astros can do is throw an experienced at-bat at you late in the game. Jack Howell, Dave Clark, Tony Eusebio, Carl Everett, Tim Bogart, all those guys good pinch hitters. You saw Spires.
Swing and a miss to make it 2-1. Now, those pinch hits that Clark got last year came in a Chicago Cubs uniform, and he was with Chicago then for the second time. A former #1 draft pick from the Cleveland Indians in 1983. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Now Tavares has to come in. Here's the pitch. He walked him.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants.
Biggio is 0 for 3, lined into left center field. A nice play by Hamilton to lead off the game. And then he struck out and flied out. Clark with his lead at first, and the pitch to Biggio, who scoots by Brian Johnson, and Clark will go into second base. That'll be a wild pitch.
Well, in Houston and in Arizona both, when we saw Tavares, he was mixing his speeds and he was throwing a breaking ball. But here today it's been all sinkers, and this one just, he really pulls through and throws wide of Johnson. Johnson never really had a chance.
So Clark gets second base with 1 out. A strike to Biggio, 1 ball and 1 strike. Magnante is in the bullpen. Now Biggio asks for time. Mike Magnante. 1 ball and 1 strike to Biggio. Inside and low, 2-1.
Biggio has just 4 at bats against Tavares' lifetime, 1 for 4. Remember, Biggio did not hit into a double play all last year.
He's got a base hit into left center field. That will score Clark. Hamilton will track it down in the alley. Biggio with a double. It's 4-3. And the Astros are coming back.
On Perinoski. And now Dusty Baker's going to come out and talk to Tavares. I think what they're going to tell him is to mix his pitches in. Very predictable. All sinkers so far. Dusty's at least going to ask him why he's not throwing other pitches. When you have a sinker as explosive and as dominant and as heavy as the one that Tavares features, you will oftentimes fall in love with it. But against an aggressive hitting team like the Astros, and they're good fastball hitters, they'll pick up the movement. They'll look to a zone where that movement's going to drop in and they're going to make contact. And there you see the hot zone on Derek Bell. It's got a hole on the outer part of the plate down around the knees. One that Orel Hershiser did a fabulous job of exploiting today to strike him out 3 times. But he also is quick in and down, and that's where a sinker goes.
Inside to Derek Bell, 1-0. 4-3 Giants.
Jim Poole, John Johnstone heating up in the bullpen.
Tavares takes a look at Biggio. And the pitch, and there's a base hit into center field, and the tying run is going to score. Hamilton's throw will be over everyone, and Bell will go into second, and he is out. Well, the Giants caught a break, but this game is tied.
Well, Derek Bell rounded first base very aggressively. A good hustler. And he saw the throw from Hamilton into the plate bypass the cutoff man. And when he saw that, he took off for second base. Not really a good throw from Hamilton, a gambling throw. He was going for the out. But the Giants do catch a break because Johnson comes up, cuts the ball off, and then shoots a P down to second base to put the tag on and get the second out.
Here's Bagwell. The difference in that play, Mike, is exactly what you said about Johnson. He went way up to catch it, and he ended up catching it out on the grass in front of home plate. 2-0 to Bagwell.
Now, it's a big significant play in this game because it allows Tavares to go after Bagwell out of the windup with nobody on base. If Derek Bell had stayed at first, there'd been one out, and he'd have to pitch to Bagwell out of the stretch.
A shot right to Rich Aurelia to end the inning. So Tavares, after striking out Billy Spires, gave up some line drives here in the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch time, and this game is tied.
Well, there's still some prime seat locations being held for season ticket purchases, and the 17 best game plan is the best way to go about doing it. The 17 game plan includes interleague games, the Dodgers, the Braves, Bat Day, Fireworks Night, and much, much more. They start at only $85, and you also receive ticket holder benefits, including postseason rights. So check it out now. The 17 best game plan. Call 1-800-SF-GIANT now.
Tony Eusebio comes in to do the catching, replacing Brad Osmus. Mike McNante is the new pitcher.
McNante off to a good start. This will be his 4th appearance. No record, but an ERA of 2.25.
Facing Bill Miller, and then Bonds, and then Kent. And Miller is 0 for 1. How about the double knee brace look? A strike.
We used to tease Don Robinson, the caveman, here in the late 80s when he was with the Giants. He had a huge leg brace on. Bob Brindley used to say he'd strap a lawn boy onto his leg and go pitch. And look at this. He's got 2 lawn boys strapped on.
Miller's got a base hit. Strokes one right past McNante.
Now he sees that left-handed breaking ball so well. Identify, keep the hands back, and go back up the middle. A very, very disciplined approach. Watch him go in. He sees the pitch. A little bit of hesitation there. He waits for it and goes right back up the middle.
Here's Barry Bonds, who singled in his first RBI of the season back in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Low to Bonds. 1 ball and no strikes. Giants had a golden opportunity in the 5th. After they scored twice, they had runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Nitkowski came in and got a ground ball and 2 strikeouts. Bonds goes the other way. Alou is tracking it, and he will make the diving catch on the track. I mean, there are times when the opposition set up a defense that no one would have been there.
Now, the ball slicing hard away from Alou. It goes to his backhand into a belly slide. It's an exceptional play, made difficult by the sun in his face, the wind, and the ball slicing away from him. Moises Alou comes up with a gem. And you're right, Kai. What's he doing playing there?
Here's Jeff Kent. 2 for 3, a single, a double, 2 RBIs. And he starts Kent off with a fastball for a strike. Well, the Cardinals finally hung on to beat the Rockies 12-11. Oh, 1 pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dusty Baker looking at that lineup card. Dodgers are having their way with the D-backs. It's 9-1 in the 8th inning. That's the home opener for LA. One ball and 1 strike. Kent gets it into the upper deck.
Very unusual to have 4 left-handers in the bullpen, which is what the Houston Astros have. Of course, their anchor, their closer, is Billy Wagner. Wagner of the 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Miller off of first. Here's the pitch to Kent, and he swings and fouls it straight back.
Good swing. Swing is so quick, so compact, and so powerful. Last at bat, sitting on a 2-strike hole, banged a double off the wall in left field.
Miller gets back. The ball got loose in the bullpen and it ricocheted out to Moises Alou. One ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Kent. 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Astros. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Giants. Kent rips one, but it'll be foul.
Well, he dropped the head on that breaking ball, slid right into the down and in location, and he just smothered it. Boy, right into the power of the down and in location, but he's just seeing everything. Location wise, that's not a bad location. Hard to keep that one fair, though.
1 and 2. And Miller gets back easily.
I think that last swing right there, Jeff Kent convinced Magnanti that he can get that inside pitch. They might have to go to the outside part of the plate just by the way Kent swung at the last pitch.
Kent hits one high and deep into left center field. Hidalgo back at the track, and he makes the catch.
That ball was killed. The winds of 3-com ate that up. Only thing to keep that ball in the ballpark. Again, good 2-strike hit, gets a ball out of the plate. Compact swing, and the only thing keeping this thing in the yard were the winds.
Here's Javier. A couple of ground balls and a fly ball 0 for 3. And Miller goes, and this is hit out of play.
Misty Baker trying to create a little something there in the hit and run first pitch. Biggio pulled off his position at second base, and there's a huge hole on the right side of the infield. All right, Cap, so you've seen the assignments on that last pitch. Are they going to change assignments? Do you think they'll hold Biggio back?
Well, a lot of it will have to do with what the pitch is. I mean, Javier's pretty good with the bat. He can hit that ball just about anywhere he wants. It's always interesting to try to figure out who is making the calls with those middle infielders. It's not always the shortstop. It's usually the guy that's been out there the most, and in this case it would be Biggio. Javier swings and misses 0-2.
Good changeup from Magnante. Give you great arm action with that off-speed pitch.
Ryan Johnson waits on deck. It's a 4-4 tie. Miller led off the inning with a base hit. A couple of balls hit hard, but there's 2 outs. Magnante is the 3rd left-hander the Giants have seen in this game. Halama, Nitkowski, and now Magnante. Javier hits one to center field. Hidalgo will come in and make the catch. 3 fly balls. The Giants are retired. We'll head to the 8th. It's the Houston Astros 4 and the San Francisco Giants 4.
Hey, every night Fox Sports News brings a complete wrap-up of the day in sports live. Check out Fox Sports News on Fox Sports Bay Area tonight at 10:30.
Well, this little guy has enjoyed the ball game so far. Caught him earlier in the game, and I must say that judging by his face, he's enjoyed the food here at the ballpark.
Well, he's got his colors on. Giant shirt.
Here's Sean Berry. Swing and a miss. William Tavares.
Tavares coming right out, opening up the at-bat with a breaking ball. I think maybe Peronowski talked to him between innings to mix his pitches a little more.
And the right-hander comes back with the next pitch, and it's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, Rob Nin talked about this Astros team as the one team that really gave him fits with his fastball. And when Nin was in Houston, he had a brilliant 2 innings, struck out 5, but threw a lot of curveballs.
1-2.
The point being is that, especially with the Astros team, who are so quick and so powerful, you cannot lock yourself into predictability. No matter how hard you throw or how much movement you have on it, they'll turn it around.
Outside to Sean Berry, it's 2-2. Moises Alou on deck, and he struck him out swinging. Alou 2 for 2. Bundled up, hooded sweatshirt, and the ballpark seatbelt. Dad hanging on. Alou takes a strike. He was backing out of the batter's box. Straight away in the outfield for Moises Alou. Blowing away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Alou really has not gone out of the strike zone much at all. Not only in this series, but he was the same way in Houston. When he goes after a swing, it's usually the ball that's in the zone. He's seeing it well right now.
3-1. Check out the Alou family season highs. Moises. RBI. Last year, Alou. Wow, 115.
Now he leads the family charge. Felipe at 98, 1962. Matty was 74 and 71. And Jesus.
Hit on the ground for Rich Aurelia. And Alou is out. 6-3, 2 away.
Moises Alou thought that he was going to be a Giant prior to last season before the Marlins picked him up, and then again this year when there was talk that he would be dealt when they were going to disband the team. He thought he would have a chance to come back here as well. Grew up a portion of his life here in the Bay Area, went to the Kenyatta Junior College, has a lot of friends in the Bay Area.
Here's Hidalgo. And Hidalgo bailing out on a pitch that was sailing in. And it's 1-0. Hidalgo is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. And he had a mighty swing. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, I got to believe that both these guys, Hidalgo and Tavares, have had experience against one another. They both play winter ball in the offseason. Tavares in Dominican and Hidalgo in Venezuela. We don't have a lot of history at the major league level.
Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
But Tavares has the kind of stuff that even if you know it's coming, it can be difficult to hit because it has so much velocity and movement. That's a rough combination.
Swinging a grounder foul. The net won't reach it.
Net's having a rough day.
I don't know.
I like the attitude though. Get your jersey, get your colors,
Bring your net.
get your net.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And now Hidalgo stepping out at the last minute. This press guide is telling us this kid is 22.
He signed when he was 16.
He's got 6 years in pro baseball. Strike 3 call. And Hidalgo says something to Charlie Relaford, and that will end the inning. 7.5 in the books. And the Astros and Giants are tied. Johnson, Snow, Aurelia coming up. From 3Com Park in the home opener for the Giants, I'm Dwayne Kuiper along with my fabulous partner Mike Krukow in a 4-4 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Giants hats and fans all over this ballpark. And Brian Johnson will step in, and Johnson's got the hat trick. He struck out 3 times. McNanty on the mound, and he swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
Reputation of a first ball fastball hitter. McNanty going with a changeup to get strike 1 on the swing.
And Johnson fouls it back.
I mean, the Bay Area certainly enjoyed the 2 swings that came off the bat of Brian Johnson last September against the Dodgers and the Rockies, and the one against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. Well, everybody around the league is watching the same thing, and they're thinking this guy, they're not going to give in to him first pitch.
Absolutely not. And Johnson goes down for the 4th time. Rob Nen getting loose as JT Snow walks up to home plate.
It's one thing Rob Nen's going to have to learn to do, and that's get loose at 3Com. A little different than at Pro Player Stadium in Miami.
Yeah, what, 3 throws and you lose there?
3 throws, you're into a full sweat.
Here's JT Snow, who's 1 for 3. Low. Rich Aurelia on deck. Inside corner. A ball and a strike.
It can be difficult at times to hit late in the game, especially in a big crowd like opening day. I mean, to a degree, this game becomes a home run derby game and a tie ball game.
Yep.
You've got to stay within your swing and not try and come out of it.
And that's hit to the backstop. 1-2. Doug Henry, former Giant in the Astros bullpen, getting loose. One ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside. And Snow takes that back leg and jerks it out of the way. A little bit of chill up here in the booth, you know?
Feels good.
Snow into the seats.
I haven't felt my hands or my feet since the 4th inning, but hey, feels good. When Roger Craig and Al Rosen took over in 1985, the one thing that they told us was that we could not complain about this ballpark anymore. Up until that time, the loudest complaints were coming from the players who played here. And believe me, the players who had to come in and were visiting teams, they complained loudly, but we would out complain them. Well, that ended when Rosen and Roger Craig took over.
Snow hits a high pop-up that Gutierrez will backpedal and struggle and fight and finally make the catch. Yeah, if you complained in those days, you get called into the principal's office.
Well, wrestling match from Ricky Gutierrez. Backs up, slides to his left, and does the basket catch and says, I had it all the time. One more look. I got it. I got it. I think I got it. Yes, he does. Well, the one thing we used to say was if a guy was caught complaining, he would catch himself and he'd say, oh, it's freezing. My hands are cold. It's freezing. And everybody'd look at him with that look. And then he'd finish off and say, ah, but I like it that way.
Here's Aurelia, 1 for 2 with a walk. And he drives one into right center field. Hidalgo again, but this one is going to be away from him. He gets it on a hop, and Aurelia is going to go into second with a double. The ball just kept moving away from Hidalgo.
Goes with the location into right center field, and it slices away from Hidalgo, who just can't catch up. And Richie Aurelia, a 2-out double, will give Alex Diaz, the pinch hitter, a chance to put the Giants ahead. And right away, Vern Rule's going to come out, the pitching coach of the Stros, and talk to Magnanti. The decision you have to ask yourself if you're Durker. Do you let Magnanti pitch to Hamilton, who's on deck behind Alex Diaz? They have first base open here. Diaz is a switch hitter.
Diaz had a base hit in extra innings to beat the Astros in their home opener last week.
But what you have is an open first base, and now they're going to change. The Dusty Baker's going to put Bernard up there. I find that interesting.
So here's Bernard. So it's Bernard against Magnanti. Marvin does not have an official at bat. Swinging a foul, but boy, did he come through so many times last year.
You know, Dusty Baker manages on the gut a lot. And what I find interesting is that Alex Diaz has had 3 at-bats against Magnanti. This is the first at-bat ever, at least at the major league level, for Bernard. But I'm sure Dusty Baker knows something that we don't know. Maybe it's the fact that Bernard has had a lot of at-bats against him in the minor leagues.
Out of play to the left side, and it's 0-2.
Bernard had a great season for the Giants last year, pinch hitting.
A 2-out double by Rich Aurelia. He adds a little suspense to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 4-4 tie. Away. 1-2. Last year in April, Marvin Bernard hit over 500. The 1-2 pitch. Low and away again. That time not close.
So tough to protect and try and lay off the bad pitches. When a pitcher's ahead 0-2, he's going to give you stuff out of the strike zone. And to Bernard's credit so far, he's been able to lay off.
To the right side for Biggio, who has it, and he throws out Bernard, and we'll go to the 9th. 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Astros. 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Giants. Rob Nen, who goes out to the mound. The 2 runs in the 7th inning by Houston tied this game. And in a 4-4 ball game, Nen will face Ricky Gutierrez, Tony Eusebio, and then the pitcher spot. Nen has been outstanding. 9 strikeouts in 4 innings. Picked up a save in Phoenix against the D-backs. Here's Gutierrez.
Well, the one concern that Nen had was whether or not he would be able to get loose here, and we're going to find out real quick. He had a long time. He had the entire bottom half of the 8th rather to get loose.
Strike, and it's 0-1 to Gutierrez. Looked like Gutierrez was taking the pitch all the way. Miller guarding the line at third, and the same with JT Snow at first. Dusty Baker does not want any extra base hits down the line. And that's hit off the backstop to make it 1-2. 95 on the gun. Think about Rob Nen. I think we've talked about it earlier. Not today, but during spring training. You know he's big, but when you stand next to him, he's really big.
That's because we're shrinking.
Here's the pitch, rolled foul. That could be.
"6'5" 210-pounder.
Like Jose Lima keeping chart in the dugout. For the Astros, 1-2 to Gutierrez. And this is for Rich Aurelia, who battled that ground ball and makes the play.
He got a tweener.
Yeah, he got a ball that flattened out on him.
Tough to stay down, but a nice play from the Giants shortstop. Let's watch him stay down. Nothing to it. Routine. Every time we ask Rich Aurelia about a play after the game, he just sort of blows it off.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Eusebio batting for the first time. Oh for 2 on the season. And he takes the strike.
96 miles per hour on that last fastball. Eusebio 1 for 6 lifetime. A single off of Rob Nin.
Swing and a miss. Tardy 0-2.
95 on the gun. Eusebio's got good opposite field power.
We're in the 9th in a 4-4 ball game. The 0-2 pitch to Eusebio is down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Giants in the 9th. When they come to the plate, it'll be the top of the batting order, and Billy Wagner is loosening up in the bullpen. You see Hamilton, Miller, and Bonds. Just off the plate, 2-2.
Well, 60,047 umpires just disagreed. But I think Charlie Relaford's called a good game today behind the plate.
I agree. Got him. 2 outs here in the 9th.
Just a steady 95-mile-an-hour heater, but the location is everything. Right down inside corner, good movement, and it just eats Eusebio up. You see the unusual style of Rob Nin, who drops that front foot down, toe taps to keep his hips locked and his legs from gliding. He keeps them back and in position. And when you have as much power as he has, when everything goes right, say goodnight.
Here's Carl Everett, pinch hitter. Everett, 3 for 16 on the year. Hitting left-handed, 2 for 12. And he takes a strike.
Two-seamer. It's a 95-mile-an-hour two-seamer on the black at the knees outside. That's a rough AB.
And that's backing out of play in the direction again of John Miller. I guess if you wear a tuxedo to the ballpark, the ball will find you.
Carl Everett has a sweet spot right around the knees. There's the big kahuna, John Miller. We saw the power that Everett had in New York when he was a member of the Mets.
Did he go around? They'll check. No, says Dana Demuth.
He dropped that ball down and in. That is the zone he covers extremely well, and he's got more than enough power to pop one out of here. Got to respect that. Johnson wants the ball away with a two-seamer.
Yes. And that will do it. 2 strikeouts for Nen in a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Top of the batting order for the Giants. It'll be Hamilton, Miller, and Bonds, and Billy Wagner coming in from the bullpen. Four to 4, bottom of the 9th. Billy Wagner to face the top of the Giants batting order. And it'll be Darrell Hamilton. Yeah, the Astros have their own gentleman that throws hard.
Yeah, Billy Wagner does not lack for stuff. One of the most powerful left-handers in both leagues. I think it's a draw between he and Randy Myers with the Toronto Blue Jays as to who throws the hardest. But you don't want to get into a rock fight with this guy. He'll bring it up there between 95 and 98 miles per hour consistently.
Wagner to the plate, and it's low. Hamilton faced Wagner back in Houston, and he picked up an infield hit off the left-hander. Strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eight hits for the Giants, 5 for the Astros. Low. Hershiser pitched extremely well this afternoon.
95 on the gun for Wagner. It was a great debut for Orel Hershiser. Victimized by a long inning, stiffened up, had to make an exit in the 6th.
2-1 pitch to Hamilton, a ground ball up the middle. Biggio's going to have to make a nice play, and it is not in time, and the ball scoots by Bagwell, but I'm not sure Hamilton had a chance, but he didn't see it anyway.
Right back at the middle. Bagger cannot reach it back across to flag it down. And the long throw not in time, but Hamilton did not see the ball get by Bagwell. Had he have seen it off the get-go, he would have been able to take an extra base.
Here's Miller. See if Miller is going to bunt. Shows bunt and takes the pitch high. Here is where Hamilton can really help out Bill Miller. If he can get a good jump with Miller laying down the bunt doesn't have to be quite so perfect. Outside, 2-0.
And right now, all Wagner wants to do is throw a strike.
Ron Woodis giving the signs. 9th inning. Winning run at first base. The bunt, and a good one. Bagwell's only play is at first, and Hamilton in scoring position. And listen to this crowd as Bonds will walk up, but Larry Dierker is coming out.
Well, Dierker's going to ask him, who do you want to pitch to? And Wagner is very aggressive mentally. He's going to say, I don't care. So then the decision goes back to Dierker. Do you pitch to Bonds with an open first base and take your chances at a red-hot Jeff Kent?
Well, now Dierker leaves. And the noise should get a little louder.
Bonds 2 for 8 lifetime against Wagner.
Playing a ground ball to Bagwell. He will underhand it to Wagner. Going to third is Hamilton. 2 outs.
Now that ends that drama. So now it's in the hands of probably the hottest hitter in the Giants lineup.
And that's Jeff Kent. One for 5 is Hershiser. Cheering his team on. And they're going to walk him. So Stan Javier gets a chance to be the hero. The little unusual unusual. They pitch to Bonds and walk Kent.
Well, they're going after the guy who's cold, and they're staying away from the guy that's hot. It's that simple.
Javier will step up to the plate after this pitch is thrown. And he will walk up 0 for 4.
Javier, a very compact swing from the right side is what you have to beat Wagner. You've got to stay on top of that live fastball. You've got a lot of swing with a guy that throws this hard. You're going to get chewed up. Javier doesn't.
Hamilton at third with Kent at first. And a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
95 in the gun from Wagner. You got more than that.
It goes in a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. No stolen base for Jeff Kent. 0-2 to Javier. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bell is very close to the line in right field. As the outfield defense expecting Javier to hit it the opposite field.
This is not a comfortable time for Tony Eusebio either. The Astros catcher, always a possibility of a pass ball with Wagner.
Javier fights it off, still 1-2. $55,370. One and 2. That was the paid attendance. Javier waiting. Out of play again.
Good battle.
Hamilton at third, Kent at second. Now Javier will step out. The base runners. The only one that matters is Hamilton at third. One and 2. Wagner ready. Low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Ooh. Javier's been hanging out the outside part of the plate, fighting off some nasty outside location pitches. And Wagner crosses him up and took a shot in the inside corner, and he almost pulls it off. Very close pitch.
2-2. Hit on the ground. Gutierrez will stay with it and throw him out. And we are going to the 10th. Extra innings brought to you by Ginsana. When life goes into extra innings, get the energy of Ginsana, the all-natural energizer. Feel your Ginsana. It's the 10th inning. Astros 4, Giants 4. The home and opener for the Astros and the season opener for both teams. Win extra innings. The Astros returning the favor.
Well, game 1 in Houston with 13 innings before the Giants pulled it out.
Kind of set everything back for the Giants. Should not have a tired bullpen after the first game.
No.
And they did. bottom of the top of the batting order for the Astros, Biggio, Bell, and Bagwell. Rob Nen striking 2 out of 3 out in the 9th. Biggio is 1 for 4. He doubled in a run in the 7th. Low.
Biggio 3 for 13 against Nen lifetime with a home run, as you see. Put 231. I mean, that's a good average against a guy like Nen.
Outside corner.
Like Brian Johnson caught that in the web with his glove.
One ball and 1 strike.
Rob Nen and Billy Wagner can both break in a mitt very quickly.
Just play catch.
He could break in a piece of plywood.
Nen went off the mound to get some moisture on his fingers.
As cool as it is today, I'm surprised they're not letting pitchers blow into their hand.
Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Same breaking ball that Biggio had trouble with in Houston against Nen. You think fastball, little cutter, just slides out of the strike zone. Good pitch, good location.
Here's a 1-2 pitch, and it's hit foul. Mike Covich retrieving the foul ball. A ball and 2 strikes to Biggio with Derek Bell on deck. 4-4 in the 10th. And the pitch from Nen is high. 2 and 2.
Now, if he's not nasty enough, there's a shadow from the light tower that's making its way onto the mound. So as he releases the ball, his shadow is affecting the vision of the hitter. Not a good time of the day to hit. But it's also not a good time of the day to catch a ball. Defensively, a lot of things going on. Sun, wind, dirt.
Full count now to Biggio. You see the shadow that Mike is talking about.
Third base, first base, guarding the lines.
3 and 2 to Biggio.
Oh, Biggio, lower shot.
Always a tough out. And he's hit on the ground for Orel, who barehands it, and he throws in time. Rich Orel made that play like a third baseman.
I think that's the way he had to make it. He knew he wasn't going to get a lot of time because of the great speed of Biggio. Coming in, as you point out, partner, third base style, excellent play. And I have to believe that last winter, when Rich Orel played winter ball, he played it as a third baseman. And I think that may have helped to make that play right there.
So 1 out, and boy, a big out. And here's Derek Bell.
Boy, Biggio put so much pressure on the defense with that speed. You don't have time.
Bell struck out the first 3 times up, and then a single off of Tavares in the 7th knocked in the tying run. Still batting .419, gives you an idea what kind of start he has gotten off to. And this is hit in the seats along the right side on a pop-up. Here's normal speed for Biggio coming out of the box.
"15 steps to the bag."
A 1 out and a 1-1 count to Derek Bell. Into right field, Javier will go back and make the one-handed catch.
No such thing as a routine fly ball this time of day in right field. The toughest field in the major leagues to play is right here this time of day.
Yeah, this is just about the time where the Giants start their batting practice for night games. It is vicious when you walk out on that field.
Make all the rookies stand over there in right field when they shag balls.
Bagwell. He scored twice, both times when he walked. Single in the first. Lined out to Aurelia in the 7th. And he takes a strike.
Like Nin took a little bit off to get that first pitch.
Oh, 0-1 to Bagwell. And now it's 0-2.
That's a good 2-pitch sequence. He got the first strike on the inside part of the plate, went right back out away with a 4-seamer. 87-mile-an-hour speed on the first pitch at 95 miles per hour on the second pitch. But the variance of speed was accentuated by the great location of each. Now the Houston, Bagwell was struck out by Nin on a breaking ball.
Well, let's see what he does. 0-2. Blown away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Got a little paralysis on the outside corner. It's a good idea. You don't want to miss out over the plate or middle in, because that's a pitch that leaves the yard.
Low. 2-2. Dodgers beat Arizona 9-1 in the Dodgers home opener. The Cardinals beat the Rockies 12-11 at Coors Field. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And it misses to Bagwell. Now a full count. Other finals, the Mets over the Cubs 3-2. Cincinnati is shutting out San Diego 2-0. That game in the 7th. Payoff pitch to Bagwell. Shot to left field. Bonds chasing it, and that's a foul ball. Dusty Baker said all along he'd like to come back home and see a good crowd, and he has.
Yes, he has. Crowd today anxious to see the 98 version, but also to pay tribute to the 97 team.
And Bagwell just got a piece of it. St. Louis Cardinals will come in when the Astros depart. They'll come in for a 4-game series. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then the Padres in Tuesday and Wednesday. 3-2 pitch. And this is going to be a fair ball. Nen gets off quickly. Barehands it, throws the snow in time. A 1-2 for inning for Rob Nen. And the Giants go to the bat rack. They need a run. It's a 4-4 tie. Bottom of the 10th, Giants 4, Astros 4. Our Discover Card payback playback play of the game. Biggio on a 3-2 count to lead off the 10th. Slow roller, Rich Aurelia barehands it, and the throw. And that is our Discover Card payback playback play of the game. It pays to discover. Here's Brian Johnson swinging a foul back, and Brian Johnson would like to put the ball in play.
Well, he's sitting on 4 strikeouts right now. That's a sombrero, and he does not want to get a 5th. But this is just about the time of game when he pumps one out here, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
And we're writing the script, aren't we?
He wrote it last year. And that's the type of pitch that he's really been chasing today. And Well, the left-handers that the Astros have, they keep throwing it.
Short curveball. He's just up there hacking right now. But against a guy like Billy Wagner, I mean, he doesn't really give you a lot of time. You got to commit yourself. That's how hard he throws.
Now, Johnson takes a good long time as he steps out. Outside, 1-2.
The breaking ball has really been a problem for Wagner because of his release. He's got so much arm speed. He really has too much arm speed for the curveball. Throws it through its break.
Out of play, Johnny Johnstone thrown in the bullpen for the Giants. There's Johnstone. Wagner pitching in his second inning. Hard hit ground ball backhanded by Gutierrez, and his throw is in time. Well, Brian Johnson hit it well.
That was a good at bat.
Here's JT Snow, 1 for 4. JT batting .240.
Astros doing the same with their defense that the Giants did, playing Bagwell and Berry, the corners in the infield, close to the line to prevent the extra base hit.
The Milwaukee Brewers won today. They are now 6-1. A strike to JT, 0-1. Baltimore beat Kansas City. Detroit over Tampa Bay. Low. Richie Aurelia on deck. There's Aurelia. Wagner throwing out of the stretch and the pitch, and it's low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Guy, do you find it a problem coming out of spring training to hold your concentration through an extra inning game, because you really don't get that many complete games in spring as a player?
No, you're usually out by the 5th inning. 2-1 pitch is way outside. 3-1. I think really what snaps you back into reality is a stadium full of people, and you forget about everything else. 3-1. He walked him.
Good at bat.
Here comes Rich Aurelia. A couple of hits for Richie. Doubled with 2 outs in the 8th inning. First time in this game that he'll be facing Billy Wagner. Ray Sanchez is in the on-deck circle. The pitch to Aurelia is outside. 1-0.
Wagner can get wild, but he has the ability to get wild and then get even. He has walked the bases low before, and he's also come back a strikeout 3. And he's just got great stuff. Great stuff.
2-0. Wagner takes a little longer look. He may have thought it was a strike. And now Dusty Baker running through some signs. With a count 2-0, do you put on the hit and run? We'll see. 3-0.
Last year, Wagner in 66 in the third innings struck out 106 against 30 walks. Orel Hershiser, starting pitcher, and cheering his teammates on.
There's a strike as Wagner took a little off. It was only 95.
Nice to be able to take something off and still hit 95. Another guy could do it right there, Robbie Dunn.
3 balls and 1 strike to Aurelia. Sean Berry near the line at third. Here's the pitch, and it's high. So Ray Sanchez will hit, and Vern Rule will come out of the dugout.
This will be a refocus job for the pitching coach, Vern Rule. We'll talk about what he wants to do here with this hitter. Maybe give a little refreshment on the scouting report to Sanchez.
Well, the Cardinals are coming into town Friday. 7:05 will be the starting time. Saturday, you can get yourself the Examiner Magnet, first 30,000 fans, and then Easter Sunday. The Saturday and Sunday games 1:05. The Friday night game 7:05. Mark McGuire and the Cardinals coming in. Sanchez 2 for 4 lifetime against Wagner. High.
Ball 9.
That's right. Ball 9 of the inning.
Sanchez struck out in his first 2 at-bats against Wagner. Then he got base hits his next 2 times. So maybe he's got him figured out.
Outside.
Well, right about now, Sanchez, who's a tough guy to walk, has got to think about taking a pitch.
Yes, he does.
In fact, Dusty Baker may have put the take on.
May have forced him. Two and 0. And that one was a strike. Charlie Relaford says strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Wagner will look to second. That's Snow. Sanchez will loop into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Here comes Hidalgo. Here comes Snow. Here comes the throw, and it is safe, and this one is over. Snow got around the tag, and the Giants win it in the 10th. Is the final. JT Snow scoring from second base. Puts on a good slide, avoids the tag of Eusebio, and the Giants win the home opener 5-4 in very, very exciting fashion.
Nothing tricky, just a fastball. He backed himself into a corner. He had to come in, and Ray Sanchez, short, quick, geared it all the way back up the middle, got it up where he wanted, and delivered. And here's where the play was made. JT Snow swinging out wide of the tag from Eusebio. Eusebio cannot apply it, and the Giants win their home opener. Great tag, swipe, a miss, and that's the difference.
And JT.
He's chugging. He was not known for his speed. And the reaction from the skipper.
And Dusty saying, run, 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 run. And now he knows. Now there's your final score. The Giants beat the Houston Astros 5-4. 5 hits for Houston, 10 for the Giants. Nen becomes the winning pitcher, and the losing pitcher is Billy Wagner. Well, it was a good ball game, and I guess if you're going to play extra innings, Mike, in their home opener, you might as well do what you did in Houston and win the ball game, and they certainly did.
You know, Orel Hershiser was talking about what baseball is. He says it's show business, and what you want to do, especially on opening day, is you want to put on a good show, and the best way to do that is to win. The fans here, in excess of 60,000, saw a great game between the Astros and the Giants, and it came down to the wire when you had the two gunslingers out there, Rob Nen, Billy Wagner, and the Giants were managed to grind it out, aided by the 2 walks from Wagner.
Now let's talk to Orel Hershiser. Orel, did you have some butterflies before the game?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you might have. Were you surprised by the fans and the ovation that you received?
No, it was fantastic. You know, I had a good feeling when I came out of the dugout to walk down to the bullpen before I warmed up, because everybody was yelling and cheering at that point. And then when I did my sprints and stretching out there in the outfield, I heard a lot of positive comments. So, yeah, I can't say that I wasn't nervous. It was definitely an experience that I'll remember.
Well, it looked to me like you had command of everything right off the bat. You established your sinker early on. You used both sides of the plate, mixed your speed. You had to be happy with the way you threw.
I was. I was a little disappointed with that I didn't finish off the 6th inning there, and then maybe go a little farther. The ball started to get a little slippery on me, and you know, you've been on that mound, Mike. You start feeling like a time bomb ready to go off, and you're just hoping you can get through an inning or 2 more and without exploding. And fortunately, Dusty got me out of there in time. I think I was about ready to lose it.
Well, did you had a long inning in the bottom half of the 5th when the Giants scored 2 runs. Did that affect you? Did you stiffen up a bit going out into the 6th?
It might have. I didn't feel like I was stiff, but I felt like I might have lost my release point. I got the first out real well, and then all of a sudden, I think it was Bagwell. I ended up walking on a 3-2 pitch and hit Barry, and it didn't really go real well there. I was kind of feeling my way through that inning, and when Brian Johnson came out there to kind of stall for Dusty, I knew I was gone. I thought that was a really good call.
Well, when you left the mound, you tipped your hat. Mike Krukow says veteran pitchers have to teach the young players to do that.
Well, I think that fans are really, emotional, and it's fantastic to have them out here, and I think you need to acknowledge them. I think, that went in the wayside when guys started getting kidded once they get in the dugout by, oh, you're playing up to the crowd, you think you're special. But I think that kidding needs to go away in the dugout so that we can continue to acknowledge the fans. Well, nice job today. Congratulations. All right. All right. Orel Hershiser visiting with us after this big win. And Mike, I guess more than anything, any time that you get involved in a home opener, you certainly want to win. You don't want to embarrass yourself. And the Giants are a step, at least in their home record, to defending the National League West, and that's what it's all about.
Indeed it is. You want to defend. The defending champions of the National League, the world champions can't do that, but the Giants can. And this nucleus here, as Dusty Baker said yesterday at the Chamber of Commerce luncheon, he said, this is my favorite team I've ever had. And why? Because they're a professional bunch. You saw the way that they stayed tough mentally throughout the game, and it paid off in a victory. All right, the Giants win this one in 10 innings, and they win it in fine fashion by a final of 5-4. Join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for Game 2 of this series between the Astros and the Giants. Kirk Reeder takes the mound for the Giants against Astros starter Jose Lima. That's tomorrow night at 7. Coming up next on Fox Sports Bay Area, it's Cycle World, the World GP from Japan. Interview guest received a gift of Adidas sunglasses. For great eye protection, get Adidas eyewear. For my partner Mike Krukow, for our producer Jeff Kuiper, and for our director Jim Lynch. This one was a beauty, and we're going to have many more here on Fox Sports Bay Area. The Giants, after taking a 4-0 lead in this game, end up winning it in 10 innings by a final 4. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Have a good night, everybody.